2, 1. There are 8 teams in the Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League, and after 4 short days of action, only one undefeated team remains. The Olney Cropdusters sit atop the standings with a perfect 3-0 record, thanks to a pair of come-from-behind victories, including a 7-4 win over the Gaithersburg Giants last night. But tonight, the Cropdusters put their perfect start on the line here at Blair High School against the Thunderbolts team that can get back to 500 with a win. 4 games in, and there's already massive implications, and that's just the beauty of some highly competitive summer baseball, and we're so excited to share it with you. Alongside Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick King, and Ben, this Cropdusters team offense has been led by one guy. It's Carter Ritchie, a huge game last night. We talked to coaches prior to the season today. We're going to switch off the lineups. Players will play one day, take a day's rest. Ritchie awarded after 2 phenomenal games with a back-to-back performance tonight.
Yeah, I think both of us were a little bit surprised, but of course excited to see Ritchie in the lineup. It seemed like a little bit of a benefit of circumstance that they had the choice whether to use him or not, give him the off day tomorrow, and if they're given a choice, it becomes a no-brainer. Ritchie has been so good, leading the league in average. Yesterday, got on base 4 times, 3 RBI, and 3 huge RBI in that. The go-ahead, hit was one of those. And yeah, I'm happy to see him in the lineup, and excited to see what he can do today.
We had the pleasure to talk to Coach Mike Evans, who's stepping in for the traditional head man, Adam Leader, tonight. And Evans said that it was between Ritchie or Onel Santiago Cruz. Santiago Cruz, of course, pitched 3 innings yesterday. They're going to give his arm a break. Ritchie gets the start at third. We'll get right into our lineups in a second, but now we're going to pause for the national anthem. We'll actually hold off temporarily. We'll get you those starting lineups. For the visiting Cropdusters, we will start off with a leadoff man playing shortstop. It's Aiden Fry. Batting second, the right fielder, number 22, Coy Swanson. In the 3 hole, it's the man we just talked about, Carter Ritchie, the third baseman. Austin Stalker bats cleanup for the Cropdusters. He's playing first base. Tyler Cook spends 9 innings behind the dish tonight. He's in the 5 hole. Zakai Hawkins, number 23, gets the start at second base tonight. Played shortstop just 2 nights ago. He's in that 6th spot rather. Charlie Buckles, he pitched last night, DH. Tonight, Jaden Knight batting 8th in left field, and then number 3, Brian Scott, the center fielder, second leadoff for the Cropdusters. And Ben, why don't you take it away for the Thunderbolts?
Yeah, so for the Thunderbolts, I think we might have a rendition of the anthem here, a live rendition.
So Ben, after a nice rendition of the anthem, you can give us that Thunderbolt lineup.
Yeah, so leading off, playing center field, we got Griffin Povell, Tyson Gill batting second, playing third, Jack Herda, batting third, playing left field. The DH in the 4-hole, Aiden Driscoll, first base. And batting fifth, Braden Foster. And bottom half of the lineup is closed out by Vance Bonoir. At catcher, Matt Walters, the right fielder, batting 7. David Vazzo, the shortstop, batting 8. And then Matthew Kim rounds it up as the second baseman, batting 9.
We have a very interesting pitching duel tonight. A pair of young arms take the bump for each side. It's the redshirt junior from Millersville for the Cropdusters, Mike Costello, his first appearance this season. And on the other side, it's Zach Danielczyk, the sophomore out of the University of Tampa. They'll each take the mound. Danielczyk outside warming up right now. As I mentioned, he just finished his sophomore year at Tampa Bay University. Posted a 3.63 ERA in 11 appearances. 1 save and 17 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 17 hits and 7 earned runs, walked 9 and struck out 16. Works with a fastball, changeup, curveball, slider rotation. Fastball around 86 miles an hour, changeup hitting around that low 80s zone, curveball and slider each tallying around 75 miles an hour. We're just moments away here from the first pitch of the evening. We thank you for joining us on this lovely Saturday night. We know there's a lot of sporting events you can be watching. The NBA Finals, the UFC is getting underway. If that's your thing, we'll really appreciate you sticking with us and watching some good college baseball.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very good game as, Danielczyk is not going to have an easy go of it. He's facing a lineup, basically the same 9 with arguably even better with Charlie Buckles in it now. But this lineup just produced constant base runners. I mean, you go through the 1 through 9. Fry got on 3 times with 2 doubles. Cook got on twice. Stalker got on 3 times, and it just kind of continues. The one man I'm interested to see is Coy Swanson. Swanson was so huge for the Cropdusters last season. But yes, last game, he just did not look great at the plate. Striking out 4 times, only reaching base on a curveball that hit him. So, that one game will not discourage him. He still has a huge part to play on this team, and I'm excited to see how he'll bounce back from a very rough opener.
If you're looking at this lineup top to bottom, Ben, this might be the most stacked 9 that the Cropdusters have had so far. Obviously, Fry leading off. He was phenomenal just a few nights ago in the home opener. You have Carter Ritchie. You have Charlie Buckles. A very powerful lineup. We'll see if it yields the same offensive output that we've seen through the Cropdusters' first 3 games. Olney comes in 3-0. The Thunderbirds 1-2 on the season. Just moments away from the first pitch. Danielczyk from the windup. Fastball inside. Fry gets out of the way. It's 1-0.
And no, your eyes do not deceive you. The angle you have is exactly what we are. We are basically right behind home plate. Might have to be careful what I'm saying. The players could hear us.
Looking straight into the umpire's butt right now as Fry swings and misses. It's a 1-1 count. You hinted at it, Ben. Fry was 2 for 4 just 2 nights ago with 2 doubles. Also reached base safely on a walk. He's quickly down 1-2. Off-speed pitch finds the zone.
Yeah, I don't think Fry loved that call, but it's a good pitch.
Nice 1-1 pitch by the righty. He gets back to work. The 1-2. That one just outside. Fry takes. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Bonilla goes for the frame, but nothing. Yeah, missed, I'd say, high and out.
Danielczyk taking his time here. Now he goes towards the mound. Off speed in there. Strike 3. Aiden Fry frozen up at home plate. And an early K for Zach Danielczyk.
And he walks away sort of just confused. That's a interesting pitch. I'll have to see that more, but did not have the typical movement of a curveball, kind of more of a forkball or changeup action, except that's a deep break. See how they can respond to that interesting looking pitch.
Nice pitch by Danielczyk. He gets back to work. Fastball rolled to the right side, scooped up by Kim. He'll toss to first, and Coy Swanson is retired. 2 quick outs for Zach Danielczyk. It's now up to Carter Ritchie to get things going.
Yeah, I think those 4 strikeouts might have been in Swanson's mind a little bit on that swing. Fastball, low and away. I think if he's right, he's going to be taking that the other way, but maybe just a little bit anxious, a little bit overzealous there, and he tries to pull a pitch that really he cannot pull.
Richie making his team high third appearance this season. Obviously very early, but he leads the league in batting average. He's hit .714 through 2 games, 5 for 7 if you can't do the math. Also has 5 RBIs. He's first in average, hits, and RBIs. He's down 0-1 here. Daniel Chick goes towards home plate. That one outside. Richie evens the count 1-1.
Yeah, the VCU product deserves to be in the lineup and deserves to be batting 3. He's just been so fun to watch these first 2 games, and I'm glad to get to see him take another at bat right now.
Nobody on for Richie. Daniel Chick from the windup. Fouled off home plate. It's going to be in play. Bonnier.
I believe it hit him out of the box, so it's going to be an out.
Interesting play there. Richie ricochets it off the plate. It goes into foul play, or fair play rather. Hits Richie as he's running, and he's retired. An awkward play. We've seen some unlucky situations like that before. Richie, the unlucky victim there. Cropdusters go 1-2-3. Daniel Chick retires the side.
Not really sure how to score that one, if I'm being totally honest with you.
It's an out. That's all that matters towards, for the Thunderbolts at least. Cropdusters take the defensive side for the first time tonight, and we'll get our first look this season at Mike Costello.
And he almost just hit us.
Costello, I don't think we were rude so far.
No, I don't think so. He's asking us to be, though.
We can be mean.
Yeah.
Costello warming up right now, showing off that fastball. It tops out around 91 miles an hour. He's also got a changeup that ranges from the high 70s to low 80s. Curveball hangs around that low 80s margin. Slider anywhere from 75 to 81. That's a heck of a range. Just wrapped up his redshirt junior year at Millersville. Appeared 7 times, pitched 6 1/3 innings with a 9.95 ERA. Allowed 5 hits, 7 earned runs, walked 10, struck out 4. Opponents hit .227 against him.
Yeah, you know, it hasn't been an ideal 2 years at Millersville for Costello. The ERA at 8.79 for those 2 seasons. And yeah, I mean, the walks, like, you know, I will harp on it. That's 14 1/3 innings. He's only given up, 10 hits, obviously is not ideal, but 18 walks to go along with it. You know, in those 2 years, opponents are only hitting .204 against him, but of course you throw in those 18 walks and it becomes a lot easier to hit despite the lack of batting average.
Easier to get base runners, easier, especially if you're getting contact outs. Costello has the velocity, just not getting the Ks. Balls in play, move runners around, and runs eventually score, which is widely responsible for the high ERA numbers from the right-hand man.
But he's got a good infield behind him. Excited to see Richie at third. Of course, you only see him behind the plate. And I like the decision not only for Richie's sake, but also give Angel Santiago Cruz that day off. You know, it's such a different workload. Even though it's only 3 innings pitching, it was the last 3 innings of the game. It's unclear the last time he threw, competitive innings. So I think let him rest up his arm. And it's just one day. He'll be back in the lineup very soon. No harm in that.
Likely tomorrow. In the lineup, stepping into the box now is the center fielder, Griffin Pouville. Costello goes home. Inside, ball 1. Pouville batting .250 on the early season. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI and a walk.
Yeah, Pouville coming off a year at Rider University where he hit .237. Still a big upgrade from .133 the year prior.
1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. That's strike 1. Nice fastball there from Costello. Corner's playing relatively back on the leadoff man. Costello high fastball misses. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, clearly some decent velocity on that pitch, but got to find a way to keep it in the zone. Good take there from Pouville. You know, that high fastball, often a tantalizing pitch.
From the windup, kick and deal. Outside fastball. Pouville, favorable count now. It's 3-1.
Yeah, Cook wanted that, but
Nice.
just a little bit outside.
Nice attempt on the frame. Home plate umpire doesn't go for it. 3 balls and a strike. Costello. Breaking ball, misses. Leadoff walk, and you touched on it earlier. He's had a problem with control.
Yeah, it goes to the curve on 3-1. First time he throws it in the at-bat. You know, in that situation, of course, he's a little bit worried that Puvel is going to be, you know, sitting fastball, but still, you got to find a way to get a strike in there. You do not want to throw a swing and miss pitch on 3-1. I mean, that's a 2-strike count. It's a good pitch, but not on 3-1.
It's Tyson Gill up now. Fastball coats the lower edge, strike 1. Puvel's on first. He can absolutely fly. We've seen the arm from Tyler Cook so far this year be effective. Let's see if Puvel tests him. There he goes. Cook down to second. It's high and into center field. Puvel heading to third. Throw by Scott, not in time. An errant throw by Tyler Cook, and Griffin Puvel takes advantage, goes from first to third in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, you know, just a little late to come up with that throw, and then when he was able to release it, just, you know, release it from not the place he'd like to, and easily getting to third on that is Puvel.
0-2 count to Tyson Gill. Fouls that one back. He'll see one more. Gill has played in 3 games so far this season, taking 4 at-bats. He's 1 for 4 with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Has yet to record an RBI. Key chance for him here with Puvel at third.
Yeah, he did strike out 32 times in 45 starts.
That one grounded to left field line, base hit. Puvel scores. Gill on his way to second. Knight, the relay. It'll just be cut off to Fry. And an early 1-0 lead for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, excellent piece of hitting there from Gill. You know, he gets a fastball high and away, not trying to do too much with it, just setting it exactly back to where it was pitched. You know, he knows in that situation a ball in play, most likely a run scoring, and that's exactly what he does. Really smart hitting there, and he earned that RBI double.
Still nobody out. Runner on second, it's Gill. Jack Hurta in the batter's box. First pitch upstairs. Costello having a real hard time locating that fastball.
Yeah, back-to-back Clarion players up right now, Gill and Hurta, college teammates, and now get to bat 2-3 for this Thunderbolts lineup.
Costello breaking ball misses. Hurta had a little bit less success at Clarion this year, whereas Gill hit 324, Hurta hit 247 so far this season, both hitting 250 coming into tonight. Maybe some friendly competition between the two. Hurta trying to add a hit as well. That one upstairs. He's quickly up 3-0.
Yeah, missing up and away with that fastball. And we've seen that kind of consistently in the first inning with some Cropdusters pitchers. They've been able to kind of right the ship later in game. You're going to see if that can happen again here.
That one right down Broadway for strike 1. And you hinted at it, Ben. This Cropdusters team has started slow in a couple of these games. They've had to come from behind twice to walk away with wins. They're going to have to come from behind tonight for a victory. The 3-1. Low and inside. Hurta takes the walk. Still nobody out. Costello having a hard time locating 2 walks. And then, of course, that RBI double by Gill is responsible for the Thunderbolts' 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and this lineup can attest better than anyone else's. The success that the Cropdusters had is these 9 was due to walks and hit by pitches.
And doesn't get any easier with Aiden Driscoll, the cleanup man. 5 straight balls now for Costello. Still struggling to find his rhythm with the fastball. You have to imagine Driscoll takes till he gets a strike. It's Gill on second, Hurta on first. Fastball outside and high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, you know, he got that a little bit farther down, a little bit farther, you know, towards the zone, but still just not finding his fastball yet.
2-0 count. Upstairs and high, 7 straight balls for Mike Costello. And you've got to wonder how much leeway Mike Evans gives the righty on the bump, especially with the bases loaded potentially and nobody out.
Yeah, I think the warning signs are already off. He'll get that at bat. He'll get the next one. A walk with the bases loaded, though, that really would change things.
3-0. Finds the zone with the heater. 3-1 count still for Driscoll, who's hitting .429 through 2 games. 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Also has yet to record an RBI. And he won't get a chance here. Walks on 5 pitches. His 4th free base of the year, and out comes Mike Evans.
Yeah, the bullpen is quiet right now. Not sure how long that can continue if, he's going the way he is right now.
There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Thunderbolts lead 1-0. It's Gill on third, Herta on second, Driscoll on first. And it's another big bat for the Thunderbolts coming to the dish. Braden Foster, I mean, you can see it. He's standing right in front of us. 6'5", 230. If he gets a hold of one, that ball's not coming back.
Yeah, he's a big man. A little bit bigger of a strike zone there, which is positive for Castrello. But, yeah, he's just got to find a way to take a moment to reset and trust his fastball. And the only hit they have is on an 0-2, just good piece of hitting, take them the other way, Got to find a way to trust your stuff.
Corners in, middle infield back. Swing and a miss by Foster. Nice pitch by Costello. Seems to have taken a deep breath with Evans coming to the mound. Let's see if it proceeds.
Yeah, I don't hate that first pitch swing idea. I think the pitch might have been a little bit outside, but the idea to swing on that, I think you're going to get a good pitch.
That one outside for sure. Count level, a ball and a strike. Foster played for the Thunderbolts last year. Batted .280 and 100 at-bats, 28 games played. Hit 2 home runs, knocked in 19. Takes that one in the dirt. He's quickly up, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, we've seen 2 pitches so far, the fastball and the curveball, and unable to get much luck with either of them. There's good break on that off-speed pitch. You see, every time he's thrown it, there's been a flinch, but because of the counts, these guys are not in a position to chase.
That one lined down the right field line and foul. Nice fastball from Costello. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out. Bases are loaded.
Yeah, now in the 2-strike count, I think that he can go back to that off-speed pitch, and the swing and miss potential does get higher as hitters are more in a protecting mood, thinking they have to swing at anything close.
Fastball sky to the left side. On the run is Ritchie. It's out of play. Hits off the top of the Cropdusters dugout. Still a 2-2 count to Braden Foster. He's 0 for 4 this season. He's only reached on a hit by pitch. He struck out once and has a sacrifice fly, but no hits, no RBIs for the redshirt junior out of Youngstown State. 2-2 pitch. Low. Count full, 3-2.
Yeah, he goes back to the fastball on 2-2, misses down. It would be gutsy to go to the off-speed pitch here, but I would have loved to see that on 1 and 2-2 now kind of forced into a fastball count.
This already seems like a crucial pitch with the bases loaded. Line drive, base hit. In comes Swanson, it bounces away from him. 2 runs will score. Driscoll advances to third. It's 3-0 Thunderbolts. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, kind of the classic situation of someone who doesn't really have the strike zone, has to throw a strike. Foster knows he's going to get a good pitch to hit, and he, got a fastball right down the middle and drilled it.
What a spot for your first hit of the season. Braden Foster coming up clutch. Vance Bonnier has a chance to continue this rally. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. It's 3-0 Thunderbolts. Bonnier down 0-1. Costello deals. Off-speed pitch upstairs.
just not really getting on top of that sweeper. You can kind of see the movement there. Not able to get that sharp bite down that, of course, he wants. Kind of more sideways and starting just too high in general.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Costello. Fastball right down the middle. Bonnier just a tad late. He's got to fight back. It's Foster on first, Driscoll on third. Ground ball to the left side, base hit. Driscoll scores, Foster to second. It's 4-0 Thunderbolts. And not a single out has been recorded. Dusters really struggling. Mike Costello having a hard time getting guys out.
Yeah, just rough going right now for Costello. And, you know, Costello, a little unfortunate there. You know, you see with shortstops lined up in double play depth. And that's just kind of how it goes. When it's not going right for you, everything seems to go wrong. Aiden Fry a little bit shaded to second base, hoping for the double play. You get the ground ball, but it's just a little too far in the hole. And, yeah, when things unravel, they really unravel.
Nice piece of hitting by Bonnier. It's now Matt Walters at the dish. He's up 2-0 after 2 straight balls from Costello. We talked about it on the way here, Ben. This Thunderbolts beat writing team said that there was one team that was clearly the team to beat in the Cal Ripken League, and it was the Cropdusters. The Thunderbolts have harped on a 4-0 lead, still have not recorded an out at the plate. Coming in as the team to beat, the Thunderbolts are really sending a message.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure that was a big part of, you know, going into this game, knowing how good the Cropdusters have been. They wanted to send a message like you're saying, but I think, you know, also they got their foot in the door with that walk, and I'm sure they were confident going into the game, but when you get a leadoff base runner, you get to steal the error, you know, a little bit of sloppy baseball at the open from the Cropdusters. It just gives teams more confidence and gives them a foot in the door, and we're seeing them really push through.
There's an arm getting loose in the Olney bullpen as Matt Walters has worked a 3-2 count. Still nobody out. Runners on first and second. Not the ideal performance in his debut for Mike Costello. Can bounce back from the stretch. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Walters down on strikes. A key out for the Cropdusters. A double play will end the inning. And in steps David Bozo.
Yeah, no doubt that he has a good fastball. Just can he locate it? Can he get in the counts? We can throw it where he wants is going to be the question for him today and, you know, for a while, as long as he's not able to consistently throw strikes.
Vazzo stands in. Off-speed pitch finds the zone, strike one.
Yeah, sharp off-speed pitch there from Costello. You know, still got some solid velocity on that one.
Vazzo 2 for 5 through the early part of the season with 2 doubles. Would be a great time for a third one. Off-speed pitch misses outside. A ball and a strike.
Goes more for the big breaker there and does not get the result he would want.
Cropdusters at risk of letting this game get out of reach already. It's 4-0. 1 away. 2 men on. Costello goes home. Fouled off to the right side on the fastball. 2 straight Ks would be very nice for Mike Costello. He's up 1-2 in this count. Middle infield back. Corners playing normal depth. The 1-2. Foul tip. Hits Cook in the mask. Bounces off the dirt. Nice piece of hitting by Vazzo to see another. It's still a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Vazzo is a strikeout candidate. He struck out 48 times at Moravian this past year. Not much of a power guy. You know, he kind of profiles more as a contact hitter, but the strikeout numbers are very much there. Something that, of course, Costello would like to take advantage of right here.
Vazzo has already struck out twice this season. The 1-2. Fouled off once more. Vatso not making it easy. 2 straight foul balls. Vatso back in the batter's box. Costello taking his time. Hawkins shaded near the second base bag. Holding the runner Foster. Base hit to the left. On the run goes Foster. He's going to hold at third. David Vatso connects for his 3rd hit of the season, and the bases are loaded once more.
Yeah, just he's been fighting with that off-speed pitch all inning. That time, of course, he's trying to bury it. Just leaves too much plate on that, and Vatso, you know, it's kind of sees a cookie on 1 and 2 and drills it to left field.
9-hitter up now for the Thunderbirds, or Thunderbolts rather. Costello just gets a visit from Tyler Cook. It's 4-0. Matthew Kim stepping in. Griffin Pouvel in the on-deck circle. First pitch off speed, fouled back into the glove of Cook. It's 0-1. Kim has 3 at-bats so far this season, has recorded 2 hits, scored 2 runs, has an RBI. One of those hits was a double. Swing and a miss. Kim down 0-2.
Yeah, right past him on that fastball. It's a good pitch.
It's Foster on third, Bonnier on second, Vatso on first for the Thunderbolts. Upstairs. Fastball nearly takes Kim's head off. Continues to work the count, 1-2. 1 away here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, he's throwing a pitch like that, you know, whether on purpose or not, certainly sets up the outer half of the plate, with Kim forced to look inside now.
Foul ball, nice piece of hitting by Kim. Knocks the off-speed pitch to the right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Costello tried to hit the outside corner there. Nice job by Kim, just kind of only intention there was foul it off and live to see another pitch.
The 1-2. Off-speed pitch upstairs. Not going to go. Costello a little frustrated. Understandably so. He's loaded the bases twice now. Has only recorded 1 out, and his team is down 4-0. Matthew Kim trying to do more damage. The 2-2 pitch. In there, strike 3. Kim frozen up. So 2 strikeouts now for Mike Costello. Top of the order, back up for the Thunderbolts. It's Griffin Pouvel. Walked his first time up. Has 1 RBI on the season. Upstairs fastball misses. This is a very big Thunderbolts lineup. Pouvel 6'5", 200. We've already talked about, of course, Braden Foster standing 6'5", 210. They went with size tonight against the first place team. The 1-0. Skied out to left center. On the run is Swanson. He's not going to get there. 3 runs are going to score on the bases clearing double. It's 7-0 Thunderbolts. Griffin Pouvel, a 3 RBI double. And it's getting ugly here at Blair High School.
Yeah, you know, really good piece of hitting there from Pouvel. Sees the fastball on the outside part of the plate and just drills it there. Splits the outfield. There's nothing they can do with that one. I think that's going to end Costello's day, and it's, you know, a nightmare, excuse me, a nightmare first outing to his Cropduster career for him.
Couldn't be farther from a dream. Mike Costello, 7 earned runs in just 2/3 innings of work. His team is down 7-0, and we're still in the bottom of the first. 30 minutes have elapsed since the first pitch. Quickly 7-0 lead for the Thunderbolts. Costello walks off with his head up. Cropdusters going to have to do some work if they want any chance of coming back tonight. And it's a new arm out there, familiar arm for us, Matt Chrismond. He's appeared in one game so far, pitched 1 1/3, struck out 1, allowed 2 hits, no runs allowed.
Yeah, the one positive I will say for the Cropdusters against this Thunderbolts team, they put up 6 runs and they had a 6-run lead going into the 6th inning against the Aces. And in that game, they just completely, they tossed it away with some errors involved. So, obviously this is a pretty nightmare beginner for the Cropdusters. But in that game, they scored 6 runs, only able to get 1 run in those next 8 innings of work. So, obviously right now things are looking great for the Thunderbolts. And I think that for them, I'm sure that having that game already will be something that they can look back on saying, we know we can't let up. That 6-run inning is something that it's great, but you can't stop there. You have to keep going.
The Cropdusters have scored 5 in 1 inning so far this season. It came last night in a win over the Gaithersburg Giants, only won 7-4. The most runs they've scored in a game so far this season is 10. But this Thunderbolts lineup is red hot. Matt Chrisman trying to weather the storm and calm things down, because right now the sea is rough for the Cropdusters.
Yeah, and we know how the Cropdusters want to play. They're a gritty team. They grind out innings, they grind out runs, and they're going to have to find a way to chip away. And it's when you get in a big deficit early, it's not about getting 5 runs in 1 inning. It's about 2 here, 3 here, and I do think that the Cropdusters are a team that works well in that environment. But first, you got to get a third out here.
First pitch by Chrisman, outside, pops out the glove of Cook. Puvel holds at second. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the first. It's 7-0 Thunderbolts. Runner on second, it's Griffin Puvel. Tyson Gill up at the dish. Had an RBI double his first time up. Swing and a miss, foul tip into the glove of Cook. Nice fastball from Chrismond. Count even, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Evans manages this game. Using someone who's already pitched once already. We'll see if there'll be other guys who'll go a second time.
It's a rough situation he's been put in with Adam Leader gone tonight. Mike Evans really going to have to show off his managerial skills with his team down 7-0 and his starting pitcher already out of the ballgame. 2 balls and a strike to Gill. Fastball in there. Strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch, skied high into the infield. Under it is Fry. He makes the play. And finally, after 32 minutes, the first inning is over, and not without damage being done. The Thunderbolts tally 7 through 2/3 innings off of Mike Costello. They lead 7-0, and boy, oh boy, it's already ugly here at Blair High School. The Cropdusters have a lot of work to do if they want to advance to 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, that top of the first just flew by. Cropdusters, of course, were hoping to put up a quick 0, and boy, did that not happen. But a lot of game time, of course. Last thing you want to do here is put up a quick 1-2-3 inning and have Chrisman go back out. Try to find a way to work some at-bats, get a little bit of momentum back, because right now it is, rock bottom for the Cropdusters.
It's Austin Stalker, Tyler Cook, and Zakai Hawkins due up for Olney. Silver Spring-Takoma worked effectively in the first. They came into tonight 1-2. The most runs they had scored in a game coming into this evening was 6. So far they've tallied 7. And we're in the top of the second. Double digits seems almost unavoidable at this point. Offense really high-powered. It's going to be tough for the Cropdusters to climb out of this hole, and that's just an understatement.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited to see how they'll respond because, of course, they've come back from some deficits. Yesterday was 3-0, but today is, you know, makes 3 look like nothing. You know, 7-0 after 1 inning where all these fielders were kind of standing there and, you know, watching the balls go by, and then, you know, the base hits get put between them. It takes a toll on you physically but also mentally. So really excited to see how, you know, these young men can respond.
Austin Stalker trying to get something going for Olney. He's 1 for 3 so far on the season. Chopper to the shortstop. Vatso, scoop, throw, got him! Nice play by David Vatso. Coming in deep from that hole to the left of second base. Retires Stalker. And Danielczyk, 4 for 4 so far.
Yeah, you know, Stalker trying to get some quick momentum back, swinging first pitch. Pitched a hit, but just, of course, not able to do anything with it.
Tyler Cook in now, fastball. Coats the inside edge, strike 1. Danielczyk doing a really nice job painting the corners early on. He moves quickly. Fastball low. A ball and a strike to Cook.
Yeah, in a situation like this, when you have that 7-0 lead, the last thing you want to do is give up free base runners. You throw strikes. If they hit it, they hit it.
Foul tip straight back. Cook down 1-2. He's 0 for 3 so far this season. Has walked once. Has also been hit by a pitch. Still no hits. His second start tonight behind the dish. Olney's offense needs him. And he comes up short. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch by Danielczyk. Gets Cook down on strikes. 5 up, 5 down. It's Zakai Hawkins for the Cropdusters. He's walked twice and been hit by a pitch. Also has not recorded a hit. Gets the start at second base tonight. Swing and a miss. Nice off-speed pitch by Danielczyk. He's really working that slider.
Yeah, it's a nice pitch. Had Hawkins, you know, totally fooled on that one. Impressive way to you know, start a count.
0-1. Skied out to shallow center field. Puvel under it. 2 no-hit innings for Zach Danielczyk. And the offense has done work. They tallied 7 in the first, and the Thunderbolts head back to the batter's box. 2 clean innings from this Silver Spring team.
Yeah, really impressive inning there. And exactly, you know, what the Thunderbolts wanted from Danielczyk. In that situation, the last thing you want to do is give the Cropdusters any momentum. And you know, that quick inning, now they go right back to hit. It's just such a demoralizing feeling for these Cropduster players, having to go right back into the field after being out there for, you know, almost 30 minutes.
Things not looking too bright for the Cropdusters. You said it, a nightmare start for this Olney team. They came into tonight's contest atop the standings, the only undefeated team remaining. Unless they mount a 7-run deficit, there will be no more zeros in the loss column. Surely not looking very good right now. We kind of touched on it earlier with all the other sports on tonight. UFC, Thunderbolts can really deliver a knockout punch here in the bottom of the second if Olney isn't already asleep.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. I mean, of course, you know, you can't say enough about how important a 7-run inning is, but if they're able to tack onto that with another big inning here, you know, get that deficit to 10 or more, then this really feels like it's, you know, the game is out of reach. But for the Cropdusters, you know, Krisman, if he's able to get a quick inning here, you give your lineup another chance to go out and hit. You never know, but yeah, a lot of work needs to be done by Krisman, then of course by the lineup as well.
Still plenty of time. Cropdusters have a high-flying offense. Need to get out of this inning cleanly. As that pitch hits off Cook's mask, he's shaken up, takes a walk towards the third base dugout. It's Jack Herta at the dish for the Thunderbolts. Walked his first time up. He's 1 for 4 so far this season.
Yeah, he's coming off a year where he had 17 walks and 21 strikeouts, so very solid ratio. Of course, he showed off his patience already once.
Shows it off again. Off-speed pitch low, a ball and a strike. Defense playing straight up for Olney. 1-1 pitch low. That time it's a fastball. 2-1 count to Herta. Make it 3-1. Krisman now having a tough time locating as well. If you're the Cropdusters, you really don't want to allow the leadoff guy to reach base safely again. But they do. 5-pitch walk once again to Herta. Walked on 5 pitches his first time up. He'll strut down to first base. Runner on, nobody out. Truly an ugly start for this Olney squad.
Yeah, and we can all understand and relate to the frustration that some of the Cropdusters fielders are feeling right now. I mean, just in the field, and then you see a first batter walked again. You know, if anything, it feels like, are we in for another terrible inning? Of course, you hope Krisman does not allow that to happen.
4 Thunderbolts walks. We're only in the bottom of the second. It's Braden Foster at the dish. Hit a 2 RBI single, or Aiden Driscoll rather, walked his first time up. Braden Foster in the on-deck circle. Driscoll down 0-2.
Yeah, nice bounce back. Krisman able to throw 2 very solid pitches, both getting a lot of the plate.
Off-speed pitch, low and inside. Tried to get him with the slider, not there. Driscoll works it to 1-2. Herta not really known for his speed. Haynes close to first. Driscoll watches that one go low. Fastball missing the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Krisman delivers. Ricocheted. It's called foul. Bounced in the lefty batter's box.
You know,
Driscoll continues to fight. Still.
I could be off, but it seems like Driscoll might be using a torpedo bat. If you look at the barrel, it looks like it's pretty high up. You know,
it does look like a torpedo bat. I think you're right, Ben.
You don't see that a lot at this level.
He's not getting a whole lot of opportunities to swing it. Counts worked full, 3-2. Driscoll walked his first time up. It's Herta on first. Krisman goes home. Inside. Make that 5 walks so far for the Thunderbolts. Back-to-back to start the inning. Mike Evans does not have unlimited arms to go to. At some point, you're just going to have to stick with a guy. You're already down 7-0. I'm not sure if you start warming anybody up quite yet. It's Braden Foster who's in this time. Ground ball to the right side. Scoop by Hawkins. Throw to him. And they turn 2. A 4-6-3 double play. Hawkins to fly to Stalker. Nice pick there by the first baseman. 2 key outs for the Cropdusters. That's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, you know, it really was a nice pick from Stalker there. Not an easy one. You know, bounced pretty low. he got down, he stayed calm and, did exactly what a catcher was supposed to do, going down to up with the ball.
Also a great turn by Hawkins at second base. Usually plays that shortstop position. We saw him there 2 nights ago. Vance Bonnier at the plate. RBI single his first time up. Runner on third, 2 outs. Nice fastball by Chrisman makes it 1-1.
Yeah, we were just talking about the need to maybe go to the bullpen. Now we got 2 quick outs. It would be huge for the Cropdusters. They can get a third out here and keep with no run scored.
Well, they don't get it there. Bonnier hit by the pitch. He'll take first base, and in steps Matt Walters. Struck out his first time up.
Yeah, a rare third-year player in this league. Don't know how many of those there are this year, but he knows this league better than anyone else.
Foul tip into the glove of Cook, strike 1. Walters hit .221 last season in 20 games played. 17 hits, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Notched his first RBI this season his first time up. Chance to do some more damage. He's behind in the count. If Chrisman can get out of this inning with no runs allowed after walking the first 2 base runners, I'd call that a win for the Cropdusters. 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Not in time.
And a big play there from Hawkins. If he doesn't, scoop that ball, it's going into the outfield. The run might score.
Nice play by Hawkins. Nobody was in position to cover. Bonnier swipes second base. 2 men in scoring position. 2 outs, 1-2 count to Walters. Chrisman goes home. Swing and a miss. Key strikeout there for the Cropdusters. What seemed to be an ugly bottom of the second ends with a 0 on the scoreboard. Still 7-0 Thunderbolts after 2.
Yeah, some little bit of deja vu was setting in, but Chrisman made sure to avoid that, and excited to see Charlie Buckles, Jaden Knight, and Brian Scott. Scott was a real spark plug from the 9-hole in the last game, only being retired once on a strikeout. Other than that, though, a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. So, 3 hitters here that have the ability to, get on base and maybe start something.
Cropdusters still searching for their first base runner tonight. Zach Danielczyk has been unhittable so far. 6 up, 6 down for Olney. Charlie Buckles comes in with 2 hits and 4 at-bats, including a double. We saw him last night take the bump for the first time. A really, really clean outing from the lefty who just graduated high school. Pitched 3 innings, allowed no runs, struck out 3, walked 2. No hits allowed either. Really, really impressive stuff from a guy who's not even 19 yet.
Yeah, Buckles is everything you want in a quote-unquote prospect. He's tall, good frame, already some muscle, but I think even more room to grow. Already throwing 90 and already hitting the ball well. But what I like the most about his approach, he does not, try to do too much. We saw, I believe it was his last at-bat last game. A fastball, probably, we didn't have the TrackMan for the away game. I assume, though, around 90. Did not try to do it too much with it, though. Took it the other way and drilled it for a double. Just really professional hitting from such a young kid.
He's definitely got a powerful swing, and it just looks so effortless for him. Average exit velocity, 97 miles an hour. His max distance is 393 feet. Straightaway center here at Blair High School is 403 feet. Right field wall very short, though, favors the lefty at just 315 feet away from home plate. Buckles steps in, Danielczyk back to work.
Yeah, and for a guy like this, that opposite field being 325 also is something to watch for.
Skips that one in the dirt for ball 1. Really the first pitch that's gone away from the right-hander. 1-0 count. Skips 2 straight, 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, fastball count here. He'll be hunting on 2-0.
Swing and a miss. Little change up there. Buckles ahead of it. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, really smart pitch and impressive execution. No, Buckles is looking for a fastball. Goes with a changeup, able to throw it in a good spot.
2-1. Fastball upstairs misses. 3 balls and a strike to Charlie Buckles. That one skied high to the shortstop Vatso. He's under it, makes the play. 1 away. Nice battling back by Zach Danielchik to retire Buckles. And in steps Jaden Knight. And if you're a big Cropdusters fan, you might be a little bit confused. Knight usually bears the number 26. Tonight he bears the number 24.
Yeah. If any of you at home made that connection, I will give you guys a lot of respect, and that's some real Cropdusters loyalty.
Knight forgot his jersey, borrowing 1 for the night. He's up 1-0 in this count, make it 2-0. Zach Danielchik bounces 1 in the dirt.
I believe that bounced up and hit the umpire in the leg as veteran move by Bonnier. You know, Bonnier taking a second, letting the ump catch his breath because that thing is fastball bounced up and it gets him right in the inner hip or thigh area.
Hits him in the interior of the leg. Bonnier checking on the home plate umpire. Jaden Knight comes back in with a 2-0 count. He's 0 for 3 so far this season with 2 walks. Infield playing back. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled off the foot of Knight. Hobbles around. Will limp back towards the Cropdusters dugout. 2 straight pitches. 2 straight banged up men. First the home plate umpire, now Jaden Knight.
Yeah, you know, an aggressive 2-0 hack there with the 7-0 lead. I think with that big of a deficit, you're 2-0 up in the count. Unless it's the pitch you really love, I think you got to take it. Even if it, you know, taking a strike, it wouldn't be the worst thing in this scenario.
Ground ball down the left field line, out of play. Right now, if you're Olney, you just need base runners. You're not going to score 7 in 1 swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jaden Knight. The 2-2. Upstairs. Knight diligent, he takes. Works the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Danielchik has yet to allow a base runner so far this evening. Works fast. Swing and a miss. 8 up, 8 down. Danielchik feeling himself, smiles as he walks around the mound.
Yeah, he clearly has that changeup working today. Goes for it on 3 and 2 into some late break. Looks like a fastball, you know, for 55 or so feet, and then just when it gets to the zone, just drops out.
Brian Scott will break up the no-hitter. Swinging at the first pitch, knocks a single up the middle. Nice piece of hitting by Scott. His second base hit of the season. Cropdusters have their first base runner. No more no-hitter for Zach Danielchik.
Yeah, another really impressive swing from Brian Scott. To me, he could be a future one-hitter, or, you know, maybe they want to keep him in the double leadoff spot, but I think, you know, his ability to get on base is something that will be key for the Cropdusters throughout the year.
Aiden Fry takes the first pitch fastball and fouls it off to the left side. Scott has some speed, stole 4 bases this year at college, Frostburg State.
Yeah, but in a situation like this, it's kind of the same as taking that 2-0 pitch. You don't want to, you know, get too aggressive for that 1 run. You're trying to build, especially with 2 outs. You want to give your top of the lineup a chance to get something going.
1-1 count to Aiden Fry. Sky high into shallow right. On the run is Walters. He's there. One hit allowed by Zach Danielczyk. It does not matter. The Cropdusters come up empty-handed for the third straight inning. Still 7-0 Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Danielczyk staying really high in the zone with his stuff. You know, it makes that fastball tough to hit. Even if the velocity isn't that impressive, he's able to stay really high and get that impressive, arm angle. It just looks faster. You see some hitters just kind of popping up lazy fly balls.
It helps when you're 6'5" and you're coming at that downwards angle. Obviously, the mound already elevated, but when you stand at the height of an NBA shooting guard and you're throwing 87, 88 from 60 feet away, it's hard to get on top of that ball, especially if it's elevated in the zone.
Yeah, it just comes on you quick, and I really am impressed with how he's able to keep that fastball high in the zone. Makes it such a more, dangerous pitch because, like you're saying, you really can't get on top of that pitch unless you're really looking for it.
Chrisman working that slider in warm-ups.
Getting some nasty break on it as well.
It's 8-9-1 for the Thunderbolts. David Vatso will lead things off. Singled his first time up. We're into the bottom of the third as the clock nearly eclipses 8. Sun's still shining here at Blair High School. Pause by the... That is not Jack Herta. That is David Vatso. PA announcer corrects himself. Vatso up 1 ball, no strikes.
Took a little while, but we got there eventually.
High fly ball. Austin Stalker barely has to move. Makes the play at first base, 1 away. Quick out there by Chrisman. Exactly what you need if you're Olney. In steps Matthew Kim. Struck out his first time up. He's 2 for 4 on the season with a pair of base hits, one being a double. Was on the Thunderbolts last year, and I'll tell you what, he's already off to a hotter start than he was last season. Only had 3 hits in 43 at-bats. So far, 2 hits in 4 at-bats. So if you're Matthew Kim and you're that Thunderbolts coaching staff, you got to like what you're seeing.
Yeah, a much better ratio obviously goes without saying.
Fastball skied out of play to the right side.
Yeah, Kim started at Gettysburg, then transferred to Frederick Community College. I think he's also looking for, a 4-year program still, but yeah, just, taking this summer as a chance to get some more at-bats.
Also a chance for guys to come look at Kim, offer him some positions at some new schools. A lot of banging around us. If you couldn't tell, we're sitting under the bleachers, so we apologize for the noise. As Kim skies that one to the left side out of play. Visiting broadcast crew doesn't necessarily get the luxury treatment all the time. I feel like Harry Potter right now, living under the staircase.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the Freaks and Geeks crew hanging out under the bleachers, where they usually say illicit activities going on. We're just trying to, we're just doing our job. They set us up in a tough situation.
Who's the freak and who's the geek out of the two of us?
We'll let the fans decide. Maybe we'll put a poll and you guys can let us know.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
Beauty.
Kim hung up. Nice pitch by Chrisman. And Matthew Kim goes down looking. He struck out twice so far tonight. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Some heavy footsteps above us. Griffin Puvel into the batter's box for the Thunderbolts. Chrisman goes home. Fastball there for strike one.
Yeah, we have no idea how that's picking up on air. Hopefully not too loud. Hopefully we're not creating some, you think there's an earthquake going on in your house. But
swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Chrisman. Puvel 1 for 1 tonight. He walked and had a 3 RBI double, bases clearing in the top of the first. That 7-run inning for the Thunderbolts. He's quickly down 0-2. There's 2 away. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down. Matt Chrisman retires the side. 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the third. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Olney back to work on the offensive side of the ball, trying to get something going.
Yeah, Matt Chrisman has been excellent since he's came into this game. 2 1/3. Last inning he struggled with the strike zone at first, but got that double play, which really helped him get out of that jam. And yeah, he's really righted the ship for the Cropdusters. He's given them a chance to at least get some runs back, chip away, but now it's time for the Cropdusters lineup to do something.
It's been a really solid performance to start this season so far for Matt Chrisman. He's so far pitched 4 innings, allowed no runs. He struck out 3 batters tonight, 4 on the season, only allowed 2 hits. Hasn't allowed a hit tonight, has walked 2 guys and hit another batter. But you gotta love what you're seeing from Matt Chrisman so far this season, especially if you're Adam Leader and that Olney coaching staff.
Yeah, the fastball is impressive, but if he gets that slider to work consistently, it really does. It's a frisbee. It just so much horizontal movement as well as some vertical. It's just that thing will start in the right-hander's batter's block and end up 2 feet away from the strike zone.
And it's not like he's blowing guys away with his velocity. Fastball hangs around the mid-80s. He's just being very crafty, drawing contact when necessary, getting swings and misses on those off-speed pitches. That's what you want out of a pitcher. The velocity will come. Chrisman just wrapped up his freshman season. He only stands 5'10", 160. He'll put on weight as he grows, and with that will come greater velocity. But if you already have the intelligence at such a ripe age, that is so promising as he continues his collegiate career and even professional if he gets there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The ability to know when to best use your pitches, the ability to, just kind of pitch a smart game, understand the weaknesses in hitters is such a key art of pitching, and clearly he's getting to establish that.
Zach Danielczyk back on the bump for the Thunderbolts. In steps Coy Swanson for his second at-bat. Grounded out to Matthew Kim at second base his first time up. Danielczyk moves fast. It's quickly 1-1. Swanson asks where that pitch was, coats the inside part of the plate. He's still searching for his first hit of the season.
Almost dotted the lower outside corner, but Swanson gets the call.
Nice take by Swanson on the low fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Danielczyk not wasting any time. Swanson rolls it over to the right side. It goes foul. Count quickly 2-2. Infield back for Silver Spring-Takoma. Couple guys stretching in the Thunderbolts bullpen. Danielczyk still out. Rolled over to the right side. Nice play by Braden Foster. Backhand takes it to first. 2 groundouts for Coy Swanson. 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, he put a decent swing on that. Able to sit back on, I believe, what was a changeup. Just unable to get any lift on it, and that's kind of been an issue for the Cropdusters consistently. When they do get the ball in the air, just not really able to drive it.
It appears as though he lost control of the bat a little bit. You could see his wrist kind of extend before his arms did. Obviously a hard hit ground ball, but sort of rolled it over. Had a chance to drive that out to right center. Instead, hit right at the first baseman Foster. In steps Carter Ritchie. Came into tonight as the league leader in batting average. He's 0 for 1. And he's quickly down 0-2 in this count. Swing and a miss On a low off-speed pitch, nobody on this Dusters lineup really getting anything going so far.
Yeah, and Daniel Check just pouring in strikes, standing high and just kind of very imposing right now as the opposing pitcher.
This is the first time he's really taken his time. Now he kicks and deals. Off-speed pitch upstairs. Richie works it to 1-2. And you kind of touched on it, Ben. This Cropdusters team has made their money by drawing walks, being patient. Daniel Chick pounding the zone, not allowing any free base runners. Only has to work for everything they get. He's thrown 2 straight balls. It's 2-2 to Richie. Chance to get something going with the middle of the lineup due up. Daniel Check, wind up and deal. Fastball just low and outside. Richie has come back to make it 3-2.
Yeah, you know, Richie has a really strong sense of the strike zone. That outside pitch, even if it's a couple inches out, he will not chase it or extend the zone he believes he has.
And he stays patient, draws the walk after being down 0-2. Cropdusters have a base runner aboard with 1 away.
Yeah, a bit of a let off there by Daniel Check. I mean, ahead 0-2, and just those 4 straight, you know, doesn't miss by a lot, but you got to find a way to challenge Richie at least on one of the 4 pitches.
Austin Stalker skies one into right. On the run is Walters. He's there. 2 away. And in steps Tyler Cook. If I'm Mike Evans, I like that swing from Austin Stalker. Just a tad under it, but he was aggressive, was expecting a fastball, pulled it to the right side, just a little too under it. But just getting contact on the ball like that, solid contact, has to be encouraging.
Yeah, he got a pitch in his wheelhouse and took a decent hack at it, just unable to get enough on it.
Tyler Cook up 1-0 after the outside fastball. Daniel Check from the stretch. Gets that heater to go in the zone. Count squared, 1-1.
First time we're seeing him shake off the sign.
Wanted to go to the breaking ball. Loses control, tails outside. Cook has a 2-1 count.
Yeah, I like that from Castrell. You saw that he kind of tapped to his chest saying, my bad. Also, maybe for the pitch, but I think saying, you know, sorry for doubting you. I should have trusted you.
Cook skied into left. Back goes Herta. At the wall, makes the play. A nice swing by Tyler Cook. Draws Jack Herta to the warning track. 3 flyouts by the Cropdusters yield no runs. Cropdusters still down 7-0.
Yeah, just once again not able to get the full barrel extended to that. I mean, a good swing, just a little bit off, close to, you know, extra bases. The same thing with Stalker. So, you know, maybe the Cropdusters finding their swing a little bit, but, you know, we've already had 4 at-bats, and time is ticking.
Matt Crispin back on the bump. That's really cool. I don't know if you heard over the loudspeaker, a trivia question for the fans here. You write down your answer, write your name down, put it in a box. They draw the winner. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
a nice little way to get fan involvement, especially in a game that, quite frankly, is getting out of reach.
Yeah, you know, at First Responders Field, I think they kind of rely on just the various entertainment to keep the fans involved. But they also have the running the bases, which is so fun seeing the kids, you know, do that. But maybe something we might want to talk to, you know, the GM Brewer about.
I'm a big fan of seeing 6'4" Gavin Lill with his mullet and his facial hair on the first baseline in between the top and bottom of the fifth doing the Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, I mean, they work hard for that. I mean, there's no doubt. I really wonder how many hours they spend, because when they do it, they're in sync. They are looking like real dancers.
The only team dancing tonight so far has been the Thunderbolts. It's Tyson Gillen. He's worked a 1-1 count. Matt Crispin back on the bump. Gill, 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI double. Nice slider there by Crispin. Coats to the outside part of the zone. A ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Upstairs heater misses. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crispin goes home. Skied out to left. In comes Knight. He makes the play. Another quick out for Matt Crispin. And in steps Jack Herta, who has not really had to swing the bat so far tonight. He's walked twice.
Yeah, he's had a very patient approach at the plate, taking some close pitches. You know, some have gone the way of the strike, but still, you know, seen enough for the walks.
Herta takes that one for strike 1. Came into tonight batting .250. Swing and a miss. And it hits Cook on the head. The backswing catches the catcher. Cook getting banged up so far tonight.
Yeah, you know, that'll frustrate him. If this was a more chippy game, this next pitch would be going right towards Herta's back, but that's not the way this league is about. 50 years ago, though, for sure.
It's been a rough night for Tyler Cook. Obviously, his team down 7-0. He's taken one off the face mask, taken one off the leg. Now takes one off the back of the head, and Jack Herta down on strikes. Crispin gets a little revenge for the hit his catcher took, and there's 2 away here.
Yeah, that's the best
in the
revenge.
bottom of the 4th.
And just another really impressive pitch from Crispin. I mean, that's just a fastball dotted low and away, and you know, 1 out away from another scoreless inning.
Aiden Driscoll lines one up the middle, nearly took Crispin's head off. First pitch swinging. Nice piece of contact by Driscoll. He had walked twice coming into the at-bat. Now reaches base safely for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, the rising sophomore from Maryland, on base 3 times. Impressive day for him. He showed good patience those 2 walks, but I like the aggressiveness on that one as well, swinging right away.
In steps Braden Foster. Fastball low. Cook scoops. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Thunderbolts lead 7-0. Hard line drive near the Thunderbolts dugout. Nice pitch by Crispin. Makes it 1-1. It's Driscoll on first. Thunderbolts offense has gone silent since the bottom of the 1st. Foster 1 for 2 tonight. Foul ball off to the left side. Ricochets off the fence. 1-2 count.
Yeah, nice pitch, kind of getting right at Foster on the inside part of the plate after going away and going soft with the off-speed pitch. Really sped him up there.
Crispin checks on Driscoll at first. Now tries to pick off. Driscoll slides back safely.
I thought you sort of saw the future there. You said checks on him, and then next thing I know, he threw over. You had a feeling.
I gut feeling, I guess. I've got a feeling, ooh, that tonight's going to be a good night. Sure is for the Thunderbolts. 1-2 count. Line straight back towards us. Net starts bouncing in front of our camera.
Whenever you have black-eyed Peas reference, chance to make, you gotta make it.
You have to. I think that might be the only Black Eyed Peas song I know. Or does my humps count?
Why not?
The 1-2.
Yeah, not.
Chrisman trying to pump it up here.
Oh, look at you.
You just can't get enough, can you, Ben?
Just can't. Love it too much.
2-2. Rolled over to Hawkins. Flips to Stalker. And the inning is over. A little boom boom pow from Matt Chrisman ends the bottom of the fourth. Thunderbolts have gone silent. It's still 7-0 as we head to the top of the fifth. And I've got a feeling that we've still got about 4 innings left.
I think you might be right about that. Yeah, you know, 7-0 in the first inning. I'm just gonna chalk it up to the lack of home cooking. I mean, we saw the way the Cropdusters have been able to succeed in the home games. You know, thanks to whether it's Ben Berger's mom or whoever's doing the catering. It has had a very positive effect on the players, clearly, and I think they're just missing that today.
We got a notification from Brian Brewer in our team group chat telling us that there's a really great deli across the street. I don't know how late that stays open, but Ben, because there was no dinner, maybe you and I can make a run to that deli, grab some sandwiches after. Who knows? We're thinking too far ahead. This game is far from over.
Yeah, after
Top
a
of the fifth.
celebratory, yeah, so I'd be happy to get some celebratory sandwiches, but you know, of course.
Don't know how celebratory it will be. We're supposed to remain unbiased, of course.
Hey, the two of us getting to call a game together, I'm always going to celebrate that.
We also get to celebrate it with a 30-minute drive home, which I'm sure will be filled with laughter. You know, you chopped it up to the home cooking. I just think, realistically, I'm sure that helps. But for a guy who's coming in like Mike Costello, pretty cold, didn't play a whole lot in college, gets the start, first time through the lineup, not really seeing these guys' swings, working with a catcher he's unfamiliar with in Tyler Cook. I'm sure that this team, especially the arms, we've seen the starters kind of struggle. Glenn Smith allowed a few his first inning. Last night, some early struggles from the Cropdusters as well. It seems like once there's this relationship built between the catcher and the pitchers, and there's understanding of what to expect from the opposing lineup, these guys settle in. Unfortunately, it just seems like the game got away from Costello, and as opposed to it being a 2 or 3 run deficit, it quickly grew to 7.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. I mean, there was nothing like this in this experience for these players. I mean, whether it's, you know, you're playing rec as a kid or travel or high school baseball, you always are practicing for at least a couple weeks, and then you're getting a game time. Often it's people you already know, but this is, you know, for these college players as well, they have a whole off season where they get to throw to their catchers and get to know each other, but there's none of that here. So yeah, that first start being not your best would make a lot of sense.
You hit a great point there. Sometimes it's either you're familiar with the guys, especially those guys playing at Frederick Community College. They know the guys in the area, high school that was similar, college, you have tape. Right now you're drawing guys from all over the country, compiling them together. Not a whole lot of great tape. As you can see from our video quality, you're looking at part of a net right now. So you're really going in raw, and it yields sometimes some shaky starts.
Yeah, and at most these guys had like three to four practices with each other, maybe time for one bullpen. But again, there's 3 catchers, so it's not clear who that bullpen was even with. So yeah, it's just great chance that the first time that pitcher-catcher are working together is in a game situation, which is of course not ideal.
So Kai Hawkins has a 1-1 count against Zach Danielczyk. He's in for his 5th inning of work. Fastball hits the upstairs part of the zone for strike 2. Hawkins still seeking his first hit of the season. He's in the 6th hole tonight. Charlie Buckles right behind him. Danielczyk off speed outside. Hawkins makes it 2-2.
Seems like we have lost scoreboard power, but you know, good thing we're always watching.
Hawkins grounds it to the third baseman, Gill. gets up, throws to first, and Hawkins is retired. Danielczyk only one base runner allowed. It came on a single from Brian Scott, who really has been effective in that 9-hole. Right now it's up to Charlie Buckles to break up the righty's rhythm. We've seen him make contact before. He's got some power. Grounded out to Vatso his first time up. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup, crafty pitch by Danielczyk. Gets Buckles ahead of it. It's 0-1.
Yeah, very similar to the 2-0 pitch he threw to Buckles last at bat. Really smart way to get ahead.
0-1 fastball, tails outside. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Buckles chases the junk in the dirt. 1-2 count.
Yeah, nice sharp slider in on the hands of Buckles. Saw him moving his feet on that one as well as swinging and missing. Just a good pitch that really could clearly made Buckles uncomfortable.
The 1-2. Fastball skips on home plate. Buckles takes. Makes it a square count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Danielczyk takes the sign, goes through his windup, inside slider, skips at the feet of Buckles. The lefty has made it 3-2.
Yeah, no guarantees that he throws a fastball in this count. I mean, we've seen him really mix it up. We saw that changeup really work against Buckles, so could still go either way here on 3-2.
Swing and a miss. He goes to that changeup. Buckles down on strikes. Crafty pitch from Danielczyk.
Buckles tried to call time, was not granted, a little bit too late. And, you know, it's tough to lock back in. You put your hand up, try to call time, you have to put your hand back on the bat, re-lock in, and he just was not able to do it there. Really smart pitch, though, regardless.
4 strikeouts by Danielczyk. One of the guys he's gotten down on K's is the man in the batter's box, Jaden Knight. And Knight's already down 0-1 after a fastball finds the zone. Danielczyk moves from the windup. Upstairs. Looks like he lost control of a breaking ball. It had a weird spin, just didn't cut back. First time we've really seen Danielczyk truly lose control of a pitch. He is granted a breakthrough after the performance he's had. Knight skies that one out to left center. On the run is Puvel. Diving play! Full extension from Griffin Puvel. In center field, robs Jaden Knight of an extra base hit. Unbelievable play by the center fielder.
I mean, wow. He had to cover so much ground to make that play. And you could see he was kind of running downhill, maybe even slipping a little, but when the time came, he made a perfectly timed leap. And wow, I mean, that is just an unbelievable catch by the center fielder.
Sports Center, we have your #1 play. Griffin Puvel robbing Jaden Knight of an extra base hit here at Blair High School on June 7th at 8:22 p.m. in the year 2025. And I don't want to get too philosophical, Ben, but that's almost reminiscent. It pretty much embodies the night that the Cropdusters have had. Nothing going Olney's way.
Yeah, again, it just feels like one of those baseball things. When the confidence is high, when stuff is going the way of your team, you're feeling good, you're making the plays, and then stuff like that happens. I mean, just when you're feeling hot, you found a way to make the good plays like that, and just an unbelievable thing, and just knocks the Cropdusters down another peg. An unbelievable catch, and like you said, nothing is going their way tonight.
And all the credit to Zach Danielczyk. 5 scoreless innings. He's been stellar. Has only allowed 1 base runner. Would have been 2 if not for Griffin Puvel out in center field. But another guy that's had a really good night is Matt Chrisman. He's allowed no runs. He's out for his 4th inning of work. He's been phenomenal. It's just unfortunate he doesn't get the credit with his team down 7-0.
Yeah,
He goes first pitch fastball to number 27, Vance Bonnier, who's 1 for 2 tonight. And Ben, take it away.
Yeah, it's important for multiple reasons. Of course, keeping the Cropdusters in the game, but more than that, I mean, of course, as we got a ground ball.
To Hawkins. He'll toss it over to first. Bonnier is retired.
Costello was not able to get the Cropdusters any length at all, so they needed 8 and 2/3. No, 8 and a third. Excuse me. Costello got 2 outs out of the Cropdusters team, and of course, these guys are playing basically every day, and you do not want to stretch your pitchers too thin. So for him to be able to come out here and do what he's doing, save the bullpen, it is so important, and he's going to get a huge pick-me-up from his team.
He's got to. They should buy him dinner. He's been fantastic. What stinks, though, is that you have the DC Grays coming to visit the Cropdusters tomorrow night. DC has started very hot, 2-1. They're back on the diamond tonight. Could be as good as 3-1 heading into First Responders Field tomorrow. When you're facing that elite of a team, you would like a guy like Chrisman to be available. Unfortunately, he will likely sit for the next 2 games after working at least 4 1/3. There's 1 out here, 1-2 pitch upcoming to Walters. Off-speed fouled straight back. Still 1-2. Matt Walters has struck out twice tonight. Chrisman has got him on strikes once. The other one was thanks to Costello. Chrisman delivers. Fastball upstairs. Count work to 2-2.
Yeah, not a bad spot at all. 1-2, trying to go to the high fastball. Maybe just a little bit too high. Definitely a pitch to think about, though.
2-2 count. Weak line drive to Hawkins. He'll take it on the bounce. Throw to first. Got him. Oh! Did not. Pops out of the glove of Stalker. Looked like a surefire out. And Austin Stalker didn't squeeze the glove hard enough. Heater off the hand of Hawkins. Pops right out of the mitt. And Matt Walters reaches on an extreme fluke.
Yeah, you know, obviously that throw didn't go to the chest or anything, but I mean, your first baseman hits your glove, no bounce. You gotta, obviously, you have to catch that ball.
Especially with the length that Stalker has. I mean, he's a big guy. He stands at around 6'3". He's got length. That's a ball you have to catch. It wasn't in the dirt. It was in the air. A costly error for the Cropdusters. Matt Chrisman back to work. He's going against David Botso. Has a 1-1 count. Botso 1 for 2 tonight. 3 for 7 on the season. The 1-1 pitch. Off goes the runner. Throw down by Cook. Way out of line. Back into center field. Cook having a hard time throwing it down to second. That's 2 throwdowns now that have made their way to Brian Scott in center field.
Yeah, I was super impressed with Cook's ability to throw out runners in his first start, but today it's just not really been the same. You know, whether it could be him getting hit, you know, 3 or 4 times, his body could be feeling it a little bit. Just, yeah, not in the rhythm of hitting that second base spot.
It was a great jump by Matt Walters as Botso skies one to Hawkins. Barely has to move. Pop out means 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. In steps Matthew Kim. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. Chrisman trying to make it 4 innings of scoreless baseball. Sean Rosemond up in the Olney bullpen. This might be the last inning for Chrisman. All things considered, a very, very valiant performance. Still has 1 more batter to get. It's Kim. 1-0 count. Fastball low. Kim has made it 2-0. Kim has walked once this season. Walked 8 times a year ago for the Thunderbolts. Swing and a miss. Chases the 2-0 pitch in the dirt. Not a disciplined swing. He's gotten better at taking those strikes. Last season with the Thunderbolts, 8 walks to 22 strikeouts. This year at Frederick Community College, 8 walks to 7 strikeouts. So he's definitely gotten those numbers improved. And after giving Chrisman a gift, the righty fires back with a strike in the zone. Kim has a 2-2 count.
Yeah, 2 really impressive sliders. The one that's almost impossible to lay off, and then one that just buckles you down.
Chrisman delivers. Fastball upstairs just misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order on deck for the Thunderbolts. It's Griffin Puvel. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Has knocked in 3. The full count pitch. Fouled back by Kim. He'll see another. Definitely a hard out.
Yeah, he goes back to the slider there. This one not as sharp. Kim saw it a little bit better, able to foul it off.
The 3-2 pitch. Low and outside. Matthew Kim draws the walk. The 3rd walk of the evening for Chrisman. And Griffin Puvel steps into the righty batter's box. 2 men on, has 3 RBIs so far tonight. Chrisman goes home, skirts that one in the dirt. Off-speed pitch, just losing control of it. A ball and no strikes. 4 RBIs so far for Puvel this season. Has a chance to add some more. It's Walters on second, Kim on first. 2 away. Fastball out of the zone. 2-0 count.
Chrisman, of course, would want to end his day with finishing the inning. A walk here, though, you might see a call to the pen.
2-0 count. Make it 3-0. Chrisman starting to lose some of that bravado, some of that control. He's going to have to fight back here and risk loading the bases for Tyson Gill. That's the way to start it. Fastball coating the outer edge. 3-1 count. Hawkins shadowing Walters at second base. Fastball misses low, and the bases are juiced for Tyson Gill. Has an RBI double tonight. He's 1 for 3. And out comes Mike Evans. It appears like Matt Chrisman's night will end after 4 innings of work. So 4 innings for Matt Chrisman, the right-handed pitcher from the University of Charleston. Walked 3, struck out 4, allowed 1 hit, no earned runs. Obviously that can change depending on what happens with Sean Roseman coming in. Still 3 men on with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. But Matt Chrisman did everything he could, was put in a tough spot, came through and delivered for the Cropdusters. Unfortunately, the offense really hasn't had his back.
Yeah, he was excellent. I know, unfortunate for him, that error on the relatively routine ground ball to second baseman elongated this inning. That would have been out number 2, and he got the Vazo to pop up. And then, of course, what followed that was the walks. And, yeah, of course, he would have loved to been able to finish his outing walking off with a clean inning. But regardless, huge outing. And also, you know, so far these pitchers have been going 3 innings, but he had to go 4, so you know it's a little bit tough for him. Going an extra inning is not something you'd necessarily expect, and he did it though.
He did it, and he did it very well. And you've got to reward Matt Chrisman. Next time you see him, he's got to at least start. I mean, this is a guy that came in tonight in a rough spot, did more than he was asked for, was expecting to come in tonight and pitch 3 innings, instead pitched 4 with his team down 7-0. It's hard to get motivated when you're down that much coming into a game that early too, nonetheless. Because in your mind, you have to realize that the game isn't over. That's a hard hurdle to climb. Chrisman did it phenomenally, and that mental toughness, and we've already touched on the velocity, how it's going to improve, and the craftiness, but that mental toughness has also been impressive. Now Sean Rosemond has a chance to prove his mental toughness. Bases juiced 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. It's still 7-0 Thunderbolts, and it can only get uglier with a base hit here.
Indeed. And yeah, you know, the discussion of expectations is so important because for Chrisman, he's expecting to come in the 4th inning. That's what they've been doing. 3 innings, 3 innings, 3 innings. He's expecting to come in with a clean inning. You know, he gets to sit on the bench, maybe talk to his friends a little bit, and then come in. Instead, he comes in with 2 outs in the 1st, and he does so well.
He was fantastic. Now it's Sean Rosemond's turn. He's appeared in 1 game so far this season for the Cropdusters. Delivers a fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. In his 2 2/3 innings of work, Rosemond allowed 1 run, 2 hits, struck out 5. You need a strikeout here. 3.33 ERA so far this season for Rosemond. Loses control of that fastball. It hangs around 86, 87. Also has a changeup curveball to go along with that heater. It's Tyson Gill who's up 2-1 in the count. Lefty-lefty matchup. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Rosemond. Gets Gill swinging. It's Puvel on first, Kim on second, Walters on third. 2-2 count, 2 away, bases loaded. Rosemond comes set, kick and delivery. Nice foul ball. Gets our camera stuck in the net. We apologize for the production budget tonight. Rosemond 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Scooped up by Fry. Throw to first, it's high! Draws Stalker off the bag. 2 errors this inning by the Cropdusters. And the Thunderbolts take advantage. It's 8-0. Olney can't stop shooting itself in the foot.
Yeah, this is not the baseball we've become accustomed to these last couple games out of these Cropdusters. I mean, yeah, 2 errors on relatively routine ground balls. You know, that on that play, a bit of a lack of understanding how much time is had.
Fry.
Yeah, Fry taking his time with that one and then realizes he has to deliver it. He gets the ball out not really where he should and leads to the errant throw.
Jack Herta can do more damage. He stands in. Fastball nearly takes his head off. Ricochets off the backstop. Scary play. Rosemond's got to compose himself. That run will go down as unearned because it came on the error by Stalker early on in the inning. So still a clean sheet for Chrisman earned runs-wise. His ERA still stands at 0. Rosemond fires back with a fastball to make it 2-1. It's Kim on third, Puvel on second, Gill on first. Herta pops it straight up. Kind of into no man's land. Cook was late to pop up. Rosemond tried to get it off the mound. Instead it's 2-2. 2 away. And Rosemond struts back to the mound.
Yeah, good hustle from the pitcher there. The pitcher will just kind of say, all right, let the fielders get it. Rosemond, not at all. He went full speed trying to make a play on that pop-up.
Rosemond comes set. Kick and delivery. Swing and a miss! Herta down on strikes, but the damage has been done. Thunderbolts tally another run, make it 8-0 as we move to the top of the 6th. And it all came off of walks and errors. No hits allowed that inning by Olney, yet the Thunderbolts still tally a run. Completely gut-wrenching stuff.
Yeah, you know, just classic, the quote-unquote bad fundies. I mean, the walks and the errors, that's what will kill you. And yeah, you know, this is not to say that Daniel Check hasn't been good, but also baseball is just such an unbelievable game of, momentum and confidence. It's such a mental game because this Olney Cropduster team has been, hitting the lights out of the baseball, and then they get in a 7-0 deficit. And of course, Daniel Check was great, but it's just, momentum is so important, and it's hard for players to, to motivate themselves knowing the score and knowing the situation, and that's just kind of how baseball works.
Daniel Chick's night, ends after 5 scoreless innings. He struck out 4 different crop dusters, allowed 1 hit, walked 1, exactly what you want out of a starting pitcher, very close to perfection, only 2 base runners allowed, and a fresh arm for the Thunderbolts, another tall righty, and that fastball is kicking out of the hand of number 20, Nathan Rodriguez. Rising freshman, just wrapped up his senior year of high school, going to attend Mount St. Mary's in the fall. He's a PO from Baltimore, Maryland, played at Calvert Hall High School, stands 6'4", 210. I'm 2 years older than him, Ben. I stand 6'2", and I weigh not 210. He's got 2 inches and about 70 pounds on me.
But
50 pounds. I cut myself a little short.
Give yourself a little bit of credit. Come on.
Math is not my strong suit. That's why I'm doing this. But I can tell you some numbers about Rodriguez. He's got a fastball that hangs around 87 miles an hour, changeup at 80, curveball at 77, slider at 80 as well. So some velocity from this young right-hander. And he'll start with Brian Scott, who has the lone base hit tonight for the Cropdusters, as we're in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, maybe the only person that won't be mad, that will be mad to see Daniel Check out of this game. He had a very nice swing, a line drive up the middle, but for everyone else, they will be elated that they'll have a chance to see a new pitcher because Daniel Check was just totally surgical. He was hitting the spots, had every pitch working, and, earned that 5 shutout innings.
Scott attacks the first pitch fastball again. This time it's skied off to Coy, or rather Matt Walters in right field. 1 pitch out for Brian Scott. He's seeing 2 pitches, swung at both of them. That time it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, he's an aggressive hitter. He sees a fastball in the zone. He's going to swing at it no matter what the situation is. And that's just kind of, something that you learn to live with. That's just kind of who you are as a hitter. Right now, Cropdusters still just got to find some way to get some base runners on.
Aiden Fry due up for the Cropdusters. Top of the order here in the top of the 6th. All-speed pitch from Rodriguez misses low and outside. Fry 0 for 2 tonight. He's got 2 hits on the early part of the season. Fastball laces the outside part of the plate. Square count, 1-1, 1 away. Make it a cubed score right now with 1-1-1.
So much for not being a math guy.
Breaking ball hangs high. Fry makes it 2-1. Both his hits this season have been doubles. Cropdusters could use all the help they can get right now. Rodriguez from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Fry ahead of the changeup. Now the count is squared 2-2. Olney having a hard time finding its offensive rhythm. Pitch home. Skips on the dirt. Rodriguez a little early adversity. He's got a full count to the leadoff man for Olney. Aiden Fry trying to make it 3 base runners for the Cropdusters through 6. The 3-2. Fouled off to the left side. Fry lives to see another.
Yeah, it's a much better hack than we saw earlier in the count. Just first time, of course, seeing each other. Every pitch you get is just a little bit of advantage. understanding kind of the movement, the velocity, and just how it comes into you as a hitter.
3-2. Rodriguez pauses, now goes home. Off-speed pitch just outside. Gutsy pitch there from the rising freshman. Doesn't go his way. But the fact that he has that much confidence in his off-speed control at 18 years old, truly impressive.
Yeah, impressive, and that's also a very solid pitch. I mean, definitely could have gone, his way, especially in an 8-0 game. Some umpires would just be inclined to kind of get it moving, but impressive take as well there by Fry.
Veteran play by Fry. It's now Coy Swanson at the dish. He's 0 for 6 to start his season. 1-0 count now after the fastball misses. Fry at first, he can fly.
The young pitcher is sort of getting squeezed here, not necessarily getting these 50-50 calls.
The 1-0. That one well in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Fry talking things over with his first base coach. Wonder if we'll see a steal. Rodriguez glances over. Now comes set. The 2-0 with 1 away. Off-speed pitch upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes to Coy Swanson. Hasn't walked this year either. Only time he's reached base safely was on a hit by pitch. 3-0 count. Fry about 10 feet off first base. Rodriguez goes home and finds the zone. Fastball on the outside part of the plate makes it a 3-1 count.
Yeah, it's an impressive pitch. He's an imposing, figure. A lot of height, a lot of muscles. You see in those legs, a lot of power he's got from that.
Fry takes an extra step at first. Off he goes. Doesn't matter. Swanson draws the walk. No throw down to Fry. Cropdusters, a little something going. 2 on with 1 away.
Yeah, they finally have 2 base runners on, and, the right guy for it with Carter Ritchie. And, he's definitely aware of those 2 walks. He's someone that's very patient, had a nice walk in his last at-bat. He will not extend his zone. He knows the situation here. He knows that base runners is the most important thing.
The Cropdusters came into this inning with 2 base runners through 5 innings. That number has doubled thanks to walks by Fry and Swanson. And now it's Carter Ritchie at the dish. We all know how good he is with runners on. Skies that one out of play. He's down 0-1. So a high schooler going up against a 5th-year senior right now. Quite the age gap.
Well,
We know how fantastic Ritchie is, hitting .714 coming into tonight. He's 0 for 1 this evening. He drew a walk in the 4th. 0-1 pitch. Off speed hangs up. A ball and a strike to Ritchie. Stalker in the on-deck circle. He's the cleanup man. Ritchie in the 3-hole tonight. Was in that 4 spot just 24 hours ago. The 1-1 pitch. Both go the runners. Ball in the dirt. No throw down. 2 men in scoring position in the 2-1 count for Carter Ritchie. There's 1 away. Nice jump by Fry. Swanson was a little late on the 2-man steal. Did not matter.
Yeah, it was a decent chance for a back pick there as he was relatively late, but nobody really covering and never really a chance for anyone to make a throw down.
Swanson an aggressive lead off second base. Swing and a miss. Fastball blows by Ritchie. 2-2 count. Nobody holding Swanson at second. He's about 16 feet off the bag. Fry playing it far more conservative. Takes a brief lead at third. Big spot here for the Dusters to get on the board. 2-2 pitch. Gutsy! Rodriguez gets Ritchie on strikes. Huge K from the righty. Still 2 on. Cropdusters trying to get a run on the board.
Yeah, and nothing too fancy by those pitches from Rodriguez, just attacking Richie with that fastball on the outside part of the plate, and the movement and the velocity just too much for Richie there.
In steps Austin Stalker. He's 0 for 2 tonight. 1 for 5 on the season with 2 walks and 2 RBIs. Off-speed pitch finds the zone, strike 1. And both these arms for the Thunderbolts have moved fast on the rubber. Rodriguez coming set and then immediately delivering. This time he pauses to take the sign. Checks both runners, kicks and goes home. Fastball outside. Nice play by Bonnier.
Yeah, I mean, despite all the runs, it's only, only going on for an hour 50, not the longest game we've had by any means.
Game has definitely slowed down after the first. It's 8-0 Thunderbolts. They tallied 1 in the bottom of the 5th. That 7-run first inning obviously ate up a large part of this game. Line drive right to Braden Foster. Nothing going the Cropdusters' way. Stalker screams an expletive in frustration. And that kind of, once again, embodies what's happening for Olney tonight. Nothing going its way. Hard hit line drive, probably north of 100 miles an hour off the bat. And what is normally a 2 RBI single is hit right to a 6'6" first baseman. All he does is stick the glove out, and the inning's over.
Yeah, I cannot blame the frustration there one bit by Stalker. I mean, he put a great swing on that ball. I'm sure it felt good off the bat. He thought he had 2 ribbies coming his way, and then the demoralizing feeling of seeing it go right into the first baseman's glove.
And he had a nice swing his last time up. Scott one to right field. Obviously, that one was a little easier of a play, but he had good contact. That time, phenomenal contact. If you're familiar with MLB The Show, one of those perfect swings. And it just goes right to Braden Foster, who makes the nice play and saves a pair of runs.
Yeah, and similar to MLB The Show, perfects do not always end up hits to players' agony sometimes.
And it seemed as if from the response from Stalker, he would have broken a controller if it was MLB The Show. Instead, just verbally exerts his frustration and trots out to first base, where he will stand for the bottom of the 6th.
I will say he showed some restraint, maybe that he would do the same with the controller. It seemed like he was incredibly ready to throw that bat down, but then he decided just to kind of give it an air swing and protect that lumber.
Obviously, an experienced guy, junior from Westchester University, probably done with the days of temper tantrums. I completely understand his frustration, though, especially with the scoreboard being the way it is and the game going the way it's gone. He made that error in the bottom of the 5th. I'm sure that was also pent up as well. Roseman moving quickly here in the bottom half of the inning. He's facing Aiden Driscoll, the cleanup man, who's 1 for 1 with 2 walks and a single. Roseman goes home. Fastball finds the zone. 1-2 count. That heater misses upstairs. Driscoll batting .500. He's 4 for 8 on the year. He's also got 5 walks. That one off the inside of the bat. Richie coming in, throw on the run. Nice play. Stalker keeps his foot on the bag, nearly drew him off. Tough play by Richie. First play he's seen at the hot corner, and it yields an out.
Yeah, ironically, sort of a similar play that he would have to make as a catcher, kind of a ball not hit very hard. He has to pick it up and then make it on an awkward throw to first, similar to like a bunt that he would have to go get in the catcher spot. So able to show off his athleticism there.
Braden Foster in, batting from the right-handed spot. He's a switch hitting player. Swing and a miss on the junk in the dirt, first pitch. The 0-1. Jams him. In comes Stalker. He'll lay the tag on him. Almost held up his hand saying, whoa, trying to slow down Foster. No real collision at first.
Yeah, I kind of thought Foster was going to give himself up, but he clearly did not.
He kind of kept stumbling. Obviously didn't truck into Stalker, but he wasn't slowing down a whole lot either. 2 quick outs for Rosemond. Fastball right in there again for strike 1. Not giving us a whole lot of time to deliberate on the last play. Rosemond gets back on the rubber, and he's already ready to deliver. Pitch home. Fastball again finds the zone. Man, if only there wasn't a rough first inning from the Cropdusters. These next 2 pitchers, following Mike Costello, who allowed 7 runs. I mean, Matt Chrismond and Sean Rosemond have only allowed 1, and it's been unearned. If it weren't for that first, we'd have a really tight ball game here at Blair High School. 0-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs. Bounces off the glove of Cook. No harm, no foul. There's nobody on base. Vance Bonnier, 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI single. Was also hit by a pitch in the bottom of the second. Fouls that one off to the left side. Out of play.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Rosemond, both this outing and the one before. Just, no nonsense. Just grabbing the ball, getting the sign, throwing his fastball a lot, but also not afraid to go to his slider. But it's a great fastball.
Nice piece of hitting there from Bonnier. Out in front of the extended arm of Aiden Fry at shortstop. Bounces into center field. And he's got his second knock of the evening. Three hits so far this season for Vance Bonnier. Only tallied 7 last season for the Thunderbolts. Already approaching that number, and it's only his 3rd game tonight. Came into the evening with 4 at-bats. He's taken 4 plate appearances. Only 3 will go down as at-bats. 1-0 now to Matt Walters, who's 0 for 2. Reached base safely in the bottom of the 3rd on an error by Austin Stalker. He's also struck out twice. He's up 2-0 in the count. Rosemond moving quickly. Kick and deal fastball outside, 3-0.
Yeah, of course the hope is that he's able to get this out and then pitch the next inning.
Fastball right at the knees. Called strike.
Yeah, such an impressive 3-0 pitch. I mean, does not give in at all. Still, hitting the inside part of the plate.
Off goes the runner. Throw down to second by Cook. Does not matter. Walk was drawn by Matt Walters on the high fastball. 2 aboard with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Nice fastball to David Botso. Coats the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Yeah, it really was a nice pitch. Good bounce back after the walk. And not a gimme fastball either. Still able to kind of hit a spot and make it not a pitch that Botso would love to hit.
Rosemond takes a quick pause. That one inside nearly hits the bow of Botso. Count squared, 1-1. The night sky has taken over here at Blair High School. We can see the moon peering through the clouds. It's a full one this evening. Pretty scenery, not a pretty score. 0-1 count. Nice fastball.
Yeah, every night you tell that you let me know that it's dark, and it is. It just happens. It's weird. Next thing you know, and then when the lights are very much needed.
It helps with the lights. Also, we've been sitting in darkness for the past 6 innings under these bleachers. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. Rosemond goes home. Swing and a miss. Botso down on strikes. Rosemond escapes the 6th unscathed. It's still 8-0 Thunderbolts after 6. Top of the 7th coming up.
Yeah, 9 more outs to work with for the Cropdusters, and it really is, you know, it's do or die. Of course, crazier things have happened. If for those who follow Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks came back against the Braves 10-4 with 1 out in the 9th inning just 2 days ago. So of course, baseball has a history of big comebacks, but the Cropdusters got to do something to get some momentum.
Now here's a deep pull for you. 2016 Nationals down 12 on the road in Atlanta. Dan Ugla go-ahead home run in the 9th. I turned that game off when it was 12-0. Nationals came back and won. Obviously a more reasonable deficit here, but if the Cropdusters want to overcome this 8-run hole, they need to get their bats going now. Only 9 outs remaining for Olney right now.
You know, I appreciate you going to that game. I was very worried you were going to pull out one of the many Mets chokes against the Nationals, whether it be the Edwin Diaz or Jerry's Familia. There's certainly been a couple, but I appreciate you staying away from that difficult subject for me.
We're friends, Ben. We still have a job to do. I can't give you a whole lot of junk right now, especially with 3 innings at least left in this contest. New arm for the Thunderbolts. We'll get you who it is momentarily. It's Robert Burke, the freshman from Babson College. Has appeared in 1 game so far this season. 1 innings pitched, struck out 2, walked 2, allowed no runs. This year in his freshman season, appeared 4 times, twice in the starting position, pitched 8 2/3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 5 earned runs, walked 6, struck out 5. Opponents hit 185 against him, and his ERA was 5.19. So definitely more of a control problem for Burke. We saw it in his first outing this year at college as well. If he can keep it in the zone, he's near untouchable, and you can see why that looping curveball has some velocity on it, and it is hard to hit.
Yeah, so for the Cropdusters, it's simple. They just have to stay patient. I know they like to swing first pitch, but with a deficit like this, got to take, especially if he walks, Cook here on 4 pitches. I think taking a strike should not be out of the question. I mean, so much work to do. Got to find a way on.
It is Tyler Cook at the dish. He's up 2-0. Fastball finds the zone. Nice pitch from Burke. That heater hangs around 88 miles an hour. Changeup and curveball both at 75. The 2-1 pitch to Cook. Outside. Hitters count 3-1. Cook 0 for 2 tonight. Has yet to record a hit this season. He's walked once, scored once, also worn 1 to the body. And make that 2 walks on the season for Tyler Cook. Doesn't swing the bat, and he'll trot on over to first base.
Yeah, we've seen Hawkins be very aggressive at the plate, but in this circumstance, let's see if kind of his baseball, knowledge and kind of just understanding of the game could lead to maybe him taking a strike, even if it's a pitch that he'd like to swing at.
He'll take that fastball. Laces the outer part of the plate. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Delivery home from Burke, and it hits Hawkins. Right on the elbow. Hawkins pleads his case. Home plate umpire wasn't sure if it hit the bat or the bow. Decision is made. Hawkins heads to first, and Cook advances to second.
Yeah, but running the Evo shield, so he'll take that free at-bat there, especially with it being an off-speed. So, again, now 2 runners on once more for the Cropdusters. No outs. Same thing needed from Buckles. You saw Hawkins there, took a first pitch strike and still ended up getting hit on the next pitch. So, it's okay to get down on the count, especially against someone who's not totally filling up the zone.
Buckles 0 for 2 tonight. Fouls the opening fastball back and is down 0 balls, 1 strike. 2 men on, nobody out for the Dusters. Their best scoring chance of the evening. Haven't had many of them. Burke in a jam. Low fastball, scooped up, throw down to second, not in time. Vance Bonnier trying to catch Tyler Cook sleeping. Cook, well aware of the play, slides back safely. It's a ball and a strike to Buckles. Fastball just misses. 2 balls and a strike.
It's a good eye from Charlie Buckles there, as you know, you get a base runner here and things start to get interesting because every walk after that brings in a run. So pressure's starting to get on Burke just a little bit.
2-1 count. Burke goes home, off-speed pitch, outside and low. Hitters count to Buckles. He's got it, 3-1. Burke at risk of allowing 3 straight free bases. Arms already getting loose in the Thunderbolts bullpen.
Yeah, chance to get one he really likes here is Buckles. If he doesn't like it, though, take your walk.
3-1. Rolled over to the right side, foul, fastball right down the middle. You saw Buckles was taking a 3-run swing, just a little bit ahead of it. Counts now full 3-2. Buckles has struck out once tonight. Has yet to draw a walk this season. The 3-2, Burke comes set, kicks and deals. Outside, there's Charlie Buckles' first walk in the yellow and red. He takes first base, and the bases are loaded for Jaden Knight. And out trots Brock Hunter, the head man for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, you know, believe it or not, a lot of game left. You know, like we said, 9 outs to work with, and this is it has to start now. I mean, base loaded, no outs, and they are gonna make that move. So, relatively quick leash against the team that is undefeated. There is some fear, of course, and you can understand the move.
Robert Burke, he's had troubles with control, showed it tonight. We talked about it. 6 walks and 2 hit by pitches this year at college, and 8 2/3. He walked to his first outing with the Thunderbolts, and he allows 3 straight base runners. None of them really had to swing the bat, and a quick call to the pen for the Thunderbolts. Another righty.
Yeah, you know, when it's a guy who's just not throwing strikes in a game like this, you can understand the quick change because, you know, that's really the one way that a team gets back into a game with a deficit like this. I mean, of course they could get they could string 10 hits together, but the odds of that are so much, you know, lower than just, you know, walking when there's balls. So, you know, just trying to get ahead of that situation.
It's Cameron Alicia, fun name to say. Righty coming in for the Thunderbolts, just finished his freshman year at Moravian College. Appeared in 13 games, started 5, posted a 7.46 ERA in 25 1/3 innings, 27 hits, 21 earned runs allowed, walked 24, struck out 21 batters. So far this summer, he's appeared in 1 game, allowed 1 earned run, ended up being a walk-off run. So he allowed a hit, allowed a run, got the loss in an early season contest for the Thunderbolts. Now a little chance for revenge, this time coming in with an 8-run lead as opposed to a tie ball game.
Yeah, Alicia kind of gets to take his time getting into this game on one hand, but also, I mean, he comes in with bases loaded, no outs, which of course is that, you know, scenario that is relatively kind of the doomsday. But the one positive for him is that he's in a situation where they will very much trade an out for a run. So with the force open at every base, that's what this team's got to tell him. You know, just put the ball, just throw strikes, let him put the ball in play. We're happy to get outs. We got forces everywhere. But it's coming, now it's up to him throwing strikes.
Big spot for Jaden Knight. Will be a great time for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's walked twice in his 2 games. Chance for a big swing here.
Yeah, Knight yet to really get going as a Cropduster, but like you said, I mean, what a situation this would be, and also just, but you don't want to make too much of the moment either. With the situation is as it is, you need a lot of base runners, so he's just got to be 1 of 9. Just, you know, keep the train moving, whatever that means. Walk, hit by pitch, or, you know, even force an error.
First pitch out of the hand of Alicia. misses in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes.
Of course, Alicia has nowhere to put him.
1-0 count. Alicia goes home. Pops out of the glove of Bonnier. Cook comes in to score. Misplay by the catcher yields the first run for the Cropdusters. It's 8-1. One swing can cut the deficit in half. It's Jaden Knight. Just finished his freshman year at Notre Dame. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Alicia.
Yeah, a lot of plate on that one. I think his eyes got a little bit big when he saw it. Took a big hack, came up empty.
Not a whole lot of velocity on that fastball. Hangs around 80 miles an hour. 2-1 count. Change up right there, down Broadway. Beautiful pitch. Knight watches it go by. That changeup is around 76 miles an hour. Alicia also has a curveball slider, both in the low 70s.
Yeah, similar location. I think Knight's a little bit frustrated that he took it.
2-2 count. Foul ball bounces off home plate. Or does it bounce off Knight again? One hit his foot earlier. It seems that one hit his foot again. Cropdusters, not only are they getting their butts beat right now, but they're getting beaten up physically.
Yeah, you know, just twice, and it seems to be a very similar spot. He's got a very similar reaction that he did to the first one. But he's got to find a way to relock in because huge situation here. A hit here just keeps it going, keeps momentum high.
2-2 count. Alicia goes home. Off-speed pitch misses outside. At risk of loading the bases, there's 2 men on. It's Hawkins on third, Buckles on second. 8-1 ball game here in the top of the 7th. Couple arms stretching again for the Thunderbolts. 3-1 count. 3-2 count, rather. Ground ball to the right side. Scooped up by Foster. Toss to Alicia. Gets the out at first. Hawkins comes in to score. 8-2 Thunderbolts. Dusters have tallied a pair here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, like we discussed, Thunderbolts very happy to trade outs for runs, but still a productive, swing there. Not only gets the run home, also moves the runner over to third. At the very least, Scott's has a good chance to cut this to a 5-run game.
Still a runner on. Nice pitch by Alicia. Fastball finds the lower part of the zone.
Yeah, how about Scott taking that pitch, after he's, like you said, swung first pitch for the first 2 pitches. Another pitch that seemed relatively okay to hit, he let it go.
0-1 count. Make it 2 straight watches from Brian Scott. Uncharacteristic. He's down 0-2. Neither calls have gone his way. Buckles stands on third. It's an 8-2 ball game. Top of the order in the on-deck circle, and Aiden Fry. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Scott chases in the dirt. And there's 2 away.
Yeah, it's a very smart 0-2 pitch. It's one of those things for Scott. He took first pitch, whatever, you wipe it. Then you take another fastball in the zone. He gets in his head, he thinks he has to swing the next pitch. That's when you drop in the off-speed pitch that starts in the zone and gets out of the zone. Scott chases. Good pitching.
Aiden Fry due up. Off-speed low. 1 ball, no strikes. Buckles still on third. Coy Swanson in the on-deck circle. Fry 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Slider misses, scoots away from Bonnier. Buckles holds at third. Would be a nice spot for Fry's first RBI of the season. The 2-0 count. Alicia goes home. Foul tip. Hits off the mask of Vance Bonnier. 2-1.
Just consistent beatdown for the catchers today. You know, like I was talking about, they are so tough. I mean, they just, ever since a young age, you'd assume these guys are catching, just constantly taking hits and just getting used to just, you know, brushing it off and getting ready to get back down for the next pitch.
2 balls and a strike. That one fouled straight back. Count even, 2-2. There's 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Dusters have already tallied a pair in the upper portion of this inning. They trail 6 by 6 runs, 8-2. Chance to make it 5 or less with Charlie Buckles on third and Aiden Fry in the batter's box. The 2-2. That ball lined to the shortstop, past his glove. Vazzo couldn't get there. Aiden Fry takes a large lead around first base, will retreat back to the bag. Buckles comes in to score. It's 8-3 Thunderbolts. Dusters finally have some offensive rhythm.
So at the very least, all 3 of the runners who loaded the bases have come around to score. With 2 outs, though, the Dusters would love to get more, and they've shown their ability to get those 2-out RBIs, those clutch 2-out hits, with 2, 3, 4 up.
Scored 5 yesterday with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to replicate that here in the top of the 7th. Fastball low, nearly takes Swanson's feet off. Swanson 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. As we've said every time he's come up, has yet to record a hit so far this season.
Yeah, he walked in his last at bat, still not really going fully at the plate. This would be a great time for a big swing.
Aiden Fry hefty lead off first. Swanson skies that one off to the left side and out of play.
Yeah, still just seemingly caught between 2 minds. I mean, sometimes on the off-speed pitch, he's relatively pulling off on it. On the fastball, not really willing to wait enough to take it the other way. I mean, it'll come with more reps, but right now, yeah, he's still got some self-correcting he needs to do.
1-1 count. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. Coats the outer edge. Nice pitch by Cameron Alicier. The 1-2. Alicia goes home, off goes Fry. No throw down to second. He steals it standing up. Aiden Fry, now with 3 stolen bases this season, 2 tonight. Proving to be an effective weapon on the base paths for the Dusters. Let's see if Swanson can take advantage. He's got a 2-2 count with 2 away. That one skied back and out of play.
It's a good swing there. You know, Alicia went with a back-to-back off-speed pitches. He got the outside corner on one, tried to knot it up again, was not able to do so, goes back with a fastball. Swanson not fooled, though.
Carter Ritchie waits in the on-deck circle. It's 2-2 to Swanson. Alicia, set, kick, and deal. Swing and a miss! Swanson down on strikes, his 5th strikeout of the season. The Dusters tally a trio of runs. It's 8-3 Thunderbolts as we head to the bottom of the 7th. But it's time to stretch here at Blair High School.
Yeah, they did a nice job to cash in those runners who got on base via the free pass. Just not able to make it really a huge inning. Part of the problem, yeah, the back-to-back outs. And uncharacteristically poor at-bat from Brian Scott. But with Ritchie, Stalker, and Cookup, maybe they'll be able to do something. Need a 0 here first before anything else, though.
Sean Roseman back out for his 3rd inning of work. He's been clean so far tonight. Allowed no runs through 1 1/3.
And he works fast, so expect that to continue in this inning. He'll be throwing strikes. Just the question is, can he have another effective inning? Can he? I mean, the Cropdusters now down 5. They certainly have begun to make a game of it. Need to put up a 0 here as quick as you can. Keep the momentum, the little momentum that the Cropdusters have on their side, and then move into the next inning.
It's 9-1-2 for Silver Spring-Takoma. Matthew Kim will get things started here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Then it's Griffin Pouvel and Tyson Gill. Roseman goes home, fastball upstairs. 1-0 count. Flyers right back with the fastball. A ball and a strike.
Yeah, Roseman just all business. Just right.
Surely not wasting any time from the rubber. He comes set, goes home. Foul back by Kim. 1-2 count. Roseman has struck out 2 so far tonight. He's got 7 Ks on the season. Chance to add another here. 1-2 count. Kick and delivery. Fouled off, same spot for Kim. Just a tad late on that fastball. You wonder if Roseman challenges him with it again or goes off speed.
Yeah, I think that high fastball is available if he would like to go to that.
He goes low with the fastball. Kim fouls it back third straight time.
I mean,
nearly identical swings from Matthew Kim.
These last couple pitches, he could just tell him that he's throwing a fastball. He just wants to attack with that number 1.
The 1-2 once more. That fastball skips on home plate. Bounces to the left of Tyler Cook. He'll toss it back to Roseman.
Yeah, nice job by Kim here being a tough out. He was the same way in his last at-bat, which ended in a walk. Good response after the first 2 at-bats ending in strikeout looking.
It's a 2-2 count. Ground ball out of play. Hard hit down the third base line, just to the left of the bag.
Yeah, he's yet to go to his big breaker this at-bat. I think it's, he obviously trusts his fastball, and Kim's yet to make a great swing on it.
It's straight gas from Roseman. Kim late on that fastball, picked up by Hawkins, tossed to first. 1 away.
I believe we had some positional changes for the Dusters.
It looks like Aiden Fry has moved over to second. Zakai Hawkins has moved to that shortstop position.
Interesting. Wonder if that was a coach decision or just a...
Not entirely sure what the logic is. Regardless, good call by you, Ben. Regardless, Fry makes the play instead of Hawkins. There's still 1 out after the ground out by Kim, and it's Griffin Pouvel up at the dish. Swing and a miss. Count even 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, he is just... He's waiting for that number 1 to be put down by Cook, and when it is, he's saying yes and just firing it.
Firing he is. Pouvel late on that heater. A ball and 2 strikes. The bullpen for the Dusters has been truly impressive. No earned runs. Strike 3 called. Fantastic pitch freezes Pouvel. 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, there's something really fun about watching Roseman pitch. I mean, it is just classic baseball. There's something to be said for, the junk and, keeping hitters off their toes. But what he is doing is just fun. It's just, he trusts his fastball and he's not afraid to throw it.
I love the poise he has on the mound, working quickly, standing tall. He seems unfazed, always dialed in. He's shown it so far tonight. Now has to go against Tyson Gill, who's 1 for 2. Gill right back to Roseman. Nice play. And the side is retired. Thunderbolts go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Roseman keeps it a 5-run deficit. It's still 8-3 Thunderbolts after 7.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered for the Cropdusters there. A quick inning. He's still feeling good. Seems to tell his coach that he can go another one if they need him to. But now, again, back to the Cropdusters offense. They have 6 outs to work with.
Might as well send Roseman back out there. Worst case scenario, he pitches the bottom of the 8th, and nobody sees the bottom of the 9th. Best case, he continues to pitch phenomenally, holds it in the bottom of the 8th, and if you need a new arm in the bottom of the 9th, you have time to warm him up. At this point in the contest, and with the score the way it is, I'm not sure if I see a reason to pull Sean Roseman, especially after the way he's been pitching.
Agreed. If he's feeling good, let him go. Let him eat.
Eating he has been. Cropdusters lineup finally 8 in the top of the 7th. They tallied 3 runs. A chance to add more and make this game interesting. Only have 6 outs left. It'll be Carter Ritchie who leads things off. Coy Swanson ended the last inning going down on strikes.
Yeah, we talked about it after that amazing diving catch in center field. When you have the confidence and you're feeling good, the catches like that by Puvel happen. However, when pressure comes, then do the self-inflicted wounds. You kind of start thinking too much, especially a team that's already blown a big lead. So for the Cropdusters, they got to find a way to get some base runners, and even that will just put some more pressure on this Bolts defense, you know, saying, well, we can't blow this again. We got to be extra sharp. I mean, anything you can do to make the defense think about you is always a positive.
Silver Spring-Takoma trying to ride their 7-run first inning into a victory. 6 outs left. Alicia comes set. Goes home to Ritchie. Fastball in on the hands, misses. Ritchie takes ball 1. And it's hard to bat 7-14 all season. Ritchie 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Clearly not his best outing so far in 2025. Chance to keep his hitting streak alive. He takes 2 straight balls.
Yeah, right now I think he'd settle for a walk, with the implication that would mean he'd have to have another at-bat later. And, of course, with a 5-run deficit.
It would mean so if the Dusters want to win this game. Alicia also moving fast. Takes the sign. Delivers to Bonnier. Fastball in there, strike 1. Nice outside corner placement by the righty. Ritchie still with a hitter's count. It's 2 balls and a strike. Nobody out. Alicia pauses, now goes home. Fastball misses. Scoots away from Bonnier. Hitter's count 3-1. As we mentioned, Ritchie has already walked tonight. Chance to do it again. He did it on a 3-1 count where he did not swing the bat. Chance for deja vu here on a Saturday night in Gaithersburg, Maryland. The 3-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2. Ritchie thought it was inside. He tossed the bat away. Now has to go and retrieve it. And he'll have to see another pitch.
Yeah, the umpires will never like that. And he knows that as a catcher. Just I think he saw the initial movement of that off-speed pitch. Looked like it was going to be inside. But some late break did help it, reach close to the zone.
He didn't show any frustration. Just asked the home plate umpire where it was. 3-2. That one in the dirt. Ritchie can toss the bat and safely head to first base.
Yeah, Ritchie a little bit lucky there, just in terms of that not being a close pitch. Those are always interesting to me after, a player does something to show up the umpire. Will he kind of lose the extra inch of a zone because of, the umpire taking that personally?
It's Austin Stalker due up for the Dusters. 0 for 3 tonight, had that hard hit line drive right to Braden Foster his last time up. That one nearly takes his legs off. 1 ball, no strikes.
And again, the recipe for success is that getting the base runner, especially with a walk. And, now it's Stalker's turn to follow it up and not swing out of his zone.
The Dusters have done damage by drawing base runners with walks, with hit by pitches. Middle of the lineup right now, being disciplined, not trying to do too much. Ritchie with the walk. Stalker now up 2-0. Alicia comes set. He goes home. Ground ball to the third base side. Gill to Kim. Not going to get Stalker at first. Force out at second means 1 out. Stalker takes Richie's place 90 feet away from home plate.
Yeah, you got to pitch to hit there. You can't fault the guy for swinging despite the count and situation. Just unable to do anything with that.
Tyler Cook 0 for 2 tonight. Walked his last time up. Breaking ball in on the hand, strike 1.
Yeah, clear that the righties are not seeing that pitch well. You know, it looks like it's going to hit him right in the face, if not like the shoulder, then moves away.
That curveball has a nasty break for Alicia. Comes out the hand, hangs, and then immediately dips right at home plate. 0-1 count to Cook. Swing and a miss. Misses the fastball. Cook quickly down 0-2. He struck out once tonight. It's his only strikeout so far this season. It's Stalker on first. 0-2 count to the catcher for the Dusters. That one outside gets away from Bonnier. Stalker advances to second. Alicia hanging that fastball a little bit outside. We've seen a couple skirt away from Bonnier. That time it's costly as Stalker moves over a base.
Yeah, at the very least, preventing the force out at second. And, of course, the double play.
Of course. 1-2 count, 1 away. Alicia pauses, now goes home. Cook skies it in the infield. Gill under it, makes the play. Two outs now in the top of the 8th. It's Zakai Hawkins. We've seen the Dusters really get under some balls tonight. We could chalk it up prior to the stature of the men on the mound just being tall. Alicia, no hate against anybody that's over 6 foot. He just stands at 6 foot. And compared to the guys we've seen, 6'6" and 6'4", Dusters still getting under that fastball.
Yeah, just it's not really an issue with their timing, just not really getting the barrel to the ball right now. And still, just the 2 hits and both singles, just, yeah, not really getting any carry to go along with the contact.
Pickoff attempt there of Stalker. It skirts into center field. He'll stay at second base as Pouvel comes in quickly to cut it off. Alicia has not allowed a run, but all things considered, he's been relatively wild.
Yeah, you know, he's got those 3 inherited runners all scoring, so not making any friends with his fellow relievers, but, you know, he'll take it. ERA staying, you know, at 0 for the game.
No, Robert Burke's ERA definitely taking a hit. Slider outside and low misses. 2 balls and a strike to Zakai Hawkins. He's reached base safely once tonight. Got hit on the elbow. Stands in with a chance to make it an 8-4 game. Stalker hefty lead off second base. Hawkins over to the right side. Outside of the glove of Kim, base hit. Stalker rounding third. Play at the plate. Throw up the line. Zakai Hawkins, his first base hit of the season. An RBI single. 8-4 ball game now. Dusters tally another in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, nice hitting by Hawkins. Not trying to do too much there. Just takes the ball where it's pitched, goes the other way with it, and knocks it in. And, of course, only 4 outs, but they are sort of creeping back. A big swing here, of course, would be even bigger.
Charlie Buckles, if anybody can hit a home run on this team, I'd push a lot of my chips on Charlie Buckles. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Pinch hitter on deck for Jaden Knight. It'll be Cade Walter. Hawkins dancing over at first. Pitch upstairs. Bonnier kind of ice cream cones that. Barely snags it with the glove. Buckles ahead in the count 2-0.
Yeah, you'd figure that pinch hit is due to the continued getting hit in the foot issue, Walter, after Knight getting hit twice on the foul ball.
Buckles swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. He goes chasing.
Yeah, not the 2-0 swing you want. You know, we've seen Buckles get ahead in basically in multiple counts, but he's just not been able to take advantage except for that walk in his last at-bat.
2-1 count. Watches that off speed go low.
It's a really impressive adjustment. Saw a very similar pitch on the previous one, this time able to take it, and now in a great count once again.
Things getting interesting, arms getting loose in the Thunderbolts pen. 3-1 count to Buckles. Fastball right down the pipe. He watches it blow by.
Yeah, that's the pitch you want. No doubt about it, and he knows, but good thing he's still got one to work with here.
Ball's carrying on a night like this. Heat, a little humidity. No wind pushing it back in the park. 3-2 count. Hawkins goes. Foul tip by Buckles. He'll live to see another, and we'll do it over again. Hawkins, of course, will leave on the pitch with 2 outs in the full count.
Goes to the sweeper there. I was kind of expecting changeup, you know, take advantage of the frustration of not swinging at the 3-1 pitch, expecting a swing on 3-2. Instead goes for the sweeper, a bit easier to notice as opposed to the changeup.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Huge strikeout by Alicia. He says some words to the Dusters dugout. Things getting heated here at Blair High School. Gavin Lill retaliating. Some bad blood brewing.
It's a long season. These guys are going to see each other.
They will see each other again. They saw
times.
each other 6 times last year. Dusters walked away, winning that season series 4-2. Things getting chippy here. And quite frankly, I'm not sure if you're Olney, you have a whole lot of room to talk. You're down 8-4. Alicia shuts down Charlie Buckles. Huge strikeout. Keeps the Dusters offense at bay. Olney down to 3 outs. And as we anticipated, Sean Roseman back out for his 4th inning of work.
Yeah, all I'll say is I would not be surprised that if Gavin Lill is in Coach Leader's ear next time they play, begging to pitch against these guys.
Man, wouldn't that be something? These teams, obviously, there's only 8 in the league. They play each other in relatively close proximity. Next time these 2 squads will square off is a week from today. That time it's going to be at home for the Dusters. First Responders Field, 6:30 first pitch. Plenty of games to play prior to that contest. Fourth game of the season right now for Olney.
I'm sure you guys listening will do what you have to do in that game. Make some noise or whatever it takes.
Can we get those chirping kids?
Oh,
man, they were brutal.
They were brutal
on Thursday night.
I think they would have been brutal in the bottom of the first to the Cropdusters if they saw this game.
Little friendly fire would have been dealt. Right now it's Jackson Herta. Fastball hits him in the face. Wears it to the dome. Shakes it off. He'll trot to first.
And
A lot of noise being
that'll
said.
only increase the bad blood between the 2 teams, of course.
Are they saying that was intentional? Not quite sure what's going on. Obviously, tempers are flaring here at Blair High School. Maybe guys getting a little hangry, emotions flaring right now. Regardless, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th with Aiden Driscoll up at the dish.
Yeah, you know, it's still boiling. Hasn't really boiled over yet. I think some guys would be happy for it too, though.
Roseman fires back after the first pitch ball to make it a 1-1 count. Driscoll fouled it off to the left side. A ball and a strike. Change up upstairs, misses. 2-1. Arm getting loose in the Olney bullpen in case he's necessary. Ground ball, right to Hawkins. Flip, fry, throw to first, got him!
Yes, smart play by Hawkins, taking it himself. No need to, do anything with that. Just, and now, Roseman just 1 out away from a very strong outing once again.
Key double play for Rosemond. Now we'll go against Braden Foster, who we know has some power. Knocked in 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Has not reached base since. Grounded into a double play and then a pair of other ground outs. That ball skied out to center field. Scott under it. Roseman already walking off the mound. Scott makes the play, and the side is retired. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Sean Rosemond. And we head to the top of the 9th. Olney down to its last gasp. Perfection lays in the brink. Started 3-0 at risk of their first loss here on this gorgeous Saturday night. And we talked about it earlier, Ben. Game was really moving slow after the first inning. Obviously, that one took up 32 minutes of time. We look at the clock now, 8 innings later, just 2 hours elapsed. Really fast ball game, and I think it's courtesy of some great pitching on both sides.
Yeah, so much credit to the Cropdusters pitchers. Chrismond, of course, starting it off, and then Roseman, able to get 7 in the third innings out of the 2 of those guys. Just a really valiant effort from them, able to just pound the zone and, make the fielders make plays, striking guys out as well, though.
Just got word from head coach Mike Evans. We saw that Cade Walters, was taking over for Jaden Knight in the on-deck circle just an inning ago. Knight obviously took 2 balls off the leg/foot area off of foul tips. Just a little banged up. Evans lets us know that he's okay, nothing serious. Walters just going to take over for the rest of the game.
Yeah, just also making sure we know he's not standing up his guy in the 9th inning. More of just a move out of precaution more than anything else.
New arm in for the Thunderbolts. It's Brady Grimes. Just wrapped up his redshirt freshman season at Millersville. He's appeared in 1 game so far for the Thunderbolts. Pitched in 1 inning. It got him to save. Struck out 2, walked 2, allowed 1 run. Another chance to close out a game tonight. Appeared in 3 games at Millersville this year, allowed no runs. 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Opponents hit .273 against him. It's Cade Walter in.
Another just incredibly tall arm.
Fastball hits Walter on the hand. Goes around. Called strike. They say foul ball instead. Looks like it hit off the knob. Walter is 1 for 8 on the season so far with a triple. That knocked in 2 runs. Has also reached on an error. 0-1. Fouled off to the left side. Grimes stands 6'7", 245 pounds. Nothing but tall right-handed arms that the Cropdusters have seen tonight.
Yeah, I think we know how their scouting department works.
Cade Walter, 0-2. Breaking ball in there, freezes him, strike 3. A rough 2 nights for Cade Walter. He's gone 0 for his last 6, and he's down there looking. Thunderbolts 2 outs away from an 8-4 win. It would move them to 2-2 on the season. Dusters would drop to 3-1. Scott, swing and a miss. Aggressive on the first pitch there. That one a little low. Doesn't pan out his way. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball upstairs misses. Got some serious velo on that heater.
Yeah, I think it has nice carry as well. Stays in its plane. Does not lose its
impressive shape and speed.
1-1 count. Breaking ball. Scott goes around, couldn't lay off. That curveball, man, oh man, it's fast and it breaks well. I've got to say, this rotation by the Thunderbolts is going to be deadly as the season progresses.
Yeah, pretty deadly off-speed pitch to break after throwing that fastball.
Scott balanced enough to foul that one back. Obviously, we know how this situation works. Some guys haven't even arrived yet. But if the Thunderbolts are already shutting the Cropdusters down this early in the season, this rotation will only get better. Cropdusters are going to have to do some serious work if they want to best the Thunderbolts in just a week.
Yeah, yet to see the real power explosion from the Cropdusters that I know they're capable of. I mean, look at their lineup. A lot of big, strong guys, but it's just yet to really see the big slug that we've expected.
No home runs for the Dusters this far. Scott goes around again on the curveball. Beautiful pitch by Brady Grimes. Absolutely stellar from the righty, and he's just 1 out away from shutting this game down. 2 straight looking Ks.
Yeah, I mean, just you saw perplexed by that off-speed pitch.
I don't understand how anybody touched him just a few nights ago. Swing and a miss by Fry. Oh my goodness, Brady Grimes is dominating here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, and he's feeding off the energy that this bench is giving him. They are all impressed and loving what they are seeing as well.
0-1 to Fry. Grimes off the end of the bat, 0-2 count. One pitch away, 1 out away. Grimes, set, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. And the Thunderbolts take a 7-run first inning and walk away with an 8-4 victory. They advance to 2-2, and Olney's perfect start comes to an end. They fall to 3-1 on the season. Man, oh man, what a dominant performance by this Thunderbolts pitching staff.
Yeah, I mean, and that inning just exclamated all of it. Hard to do much better than that. I mean, striking out the side, not really an answer for his fastball or his curveball. I'm sure that we're going to see this pitching staff and a lot of these guys again. We'll be interested to see if they can make an adjustment or if it'll be more of the same. And
talk about getting shut down. The Cropdusters, through 9 innings, a season worst. 3 hits, 7 walks, a terrible performance offensively for Olney, and they did not get a whole lot of help in the first inning from Mike Costello.
Yeah, it's tough to come back from a big deficit, but the pitching kept them in it. They had certainly had chances to come back. They actually were able to manage a couple of free passes, but just a lot of big pitching, a lot of big pitches, keeping the Cropdusters, away from ever really having, something to say about this game.
Zach Danielchek kept the Cropdusters offense at bay. 5 scoreless innings, allowed 1 hit. Truly a dominant performance. Bullpen came in, some arms a little rocky. Burke not his best outing. Alicia got a little rattled, allowed 1 run. But all things considered, this Thunderbolts rotation, very good. Still a lot of good takeaways for the Cropdusters. Matt Chrisman looked fantastic. Sean Roseman, another dominant outing. Things to carry into tomorrow's game against the DC Grays, but the offense has to step up tomorrow against a team that is red hot and sits atop their division, 2-1 coming into tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for tomorrow. It's going to be a Sunday. Hope to see a lot of people in the park. And yeah, I'm sure this is going to leave a bad taste in both, the hitters, but also the staff's mouths, just given the fact they gave up 7 in the first. And expect them to come out strong tomorrow. They know how hard it is to come back and how demoralizing it is to start a game the way they did today. I would not expect to see a deficit to start tomorrow's game.
Some bad blood started to brew tonight here from Blair High School. These two teams will see each other a week from tonight. Tomorrow, we've already hinted at it, 6:30 p.m. first pitch from First Responders Field. The Olney Cropdusters host the DC Grays. DC finished last in the standings, just a season ago. They sit atop the ranks right now. A marquee showdown on a Sunday afternoon. But we got to thank them so much. A lot you could have been doing with your Saturday night, especially in the sports world. We thank you so much for joining us, for taking time out of your day to spend 3 hours and watch some quality baseball. For Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick King saying so long and good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Cropdusters fall 8-4 to the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbirds.